Hello and welcome to Roleplay Rejects, where we play new and unusual tabletop role-playing games. In Side Quest, we're taking a break from our longer stories to play just a few sessions of some very unique role-playing games out there. So sit back and enjoy.
Wow.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Weird one.
That was the weirdest can pop
That
I
was an
think I've
extended
ever heard.
release one.
You're welcome. My fingers were slipping. But, yeah.
Rip.
So we had this friend that was like, you should check out my local game store. It's just as good as your local game store. It wasn't. It's quite a bit smaller. I just spilled my drink all over.
Your character sheet.
Hey, that's okay. I didn't get on any of the electronics.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you have certain expectations from a game store and you go to a different one and you're like, oh. Because I think that's the thing is like, our local game store is the best.
It is.
However,
You're
I
even
can
wearing
see,
a hat.
yeah, I'm literally
them.
wearing their beanie. I can see why other people might like different variants. I was gonna say better, but there's no way you could like it better. Like,
It's just like got a really great balance of everything, you know?
I mean, you just like what you have access to, right? Like, if that's
Yeah.
your local game store, of course you like it.
Yeah.
Right?
absolutely.
Like, the only thing it had more of than our game store was 3D printed stuff.
Huh.
And, like, yeah, I guess, like, weird trinkets and stuff and fidget toys are good to have at a game store,
We
but
have 3D printed stuff at home.
I was like, say, truly, like, I can just ask you for that stuff.
yeah.
And but not everybody else has access to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
No, they do. Email Joseph.
no,
At lemouyerstinky.com.
we will charge you.
At gmail.com. Sorry. I
Give
don't
us your
know
3D
my
print
own
request, and we will ignore it free of charge.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like we're pretty spoiled with our game store.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Other places we've lived, I've definitely not seen
Mm-hmm.
nearly as great of like variety of games and types of games. And like, I know that sounds like the same thing, but it's not. They're different. Like, ours has TTRPGs and board games and war games and
And card games.
card games and kids games.
Yeah.
And
Legos.
The kids'
Legos.
games has been really great for us. They have a ton of Legos. Nerds love
Yeah.
Legos.
They do.
yeah,
Or so I've been told.
but like, not all game stores have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we do have like pinkies up when it comes to that.
Yeah, we do.
Just because we happen to live next to the best game store.
Yeah, I think the only like upside, and it's not an upside for me, is they sell alcohol at that one. So like if you wanted to
Like
to
the
drink and play your game. Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
yeah, I think they like sell wine and stuff.
It's a cool concept.
It is, right?
It doesn't do much for us.
I don't think it.
Exactly.
I think it's one of those things that is definitely nice to have if you play at your game store, but it doesn't like. It is like outside the quality of game store somehow. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Like it's
Mhm.
like a luxury, not a. The other thing.
Yeah,
Necessity.
it's a feat.
You're not going to
Yeah.
show up to a game store and be like, oh man, I wish they had alcohol here.
Mhm. And you're also not gonna be like, oh, I'm glad they have a slightly smaller selection, and this bar instead. Like you know what I mean? Like you're always gonna want
Yeah.
the game store part to be the most prominent.
Yeah, unless you're going to it knowing that it's like a board game bar, for
Mhm.
example. Like that's
Yeah.
like you know what you're getting into with that. But I think if you showed up to a game store
Mhm.
and they happened to have alcohol, it'd be like, oh, okay, interesting.
That's nice.
Speaking of that, I think that'd be a really good upgrade for us to get
Board games.
board games at our tavern.
Ooh,
For like the
okay.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Smart, I
that'd be
agree.
cool.
Guys, we can be gaming on a ship.
I mean, we already have
I want a boat.
a TTRPG thrown into our game, so
Yeah, I
make
blatantly
sense.
stole that from Hello from the Magic
yeah.
Tavern.
No, I know.
Yeah. Oh,
I
it's
was
great.
Very aware.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the listeners weren't, but I was like, offices
Nah, they
and
know.
bosses. I haven't thought about that in
Yeah.
a hot minute.
It's good
Wait,
stuff.
how much of Hello have you listened to?
Probably like the first 50 to 100 episodes.
Okay, gotcha. We're about the same spot. I stopped like a year or two ago, but
Yeah,
It was
there was
good
a while
stuff.
there where I was like, I need more content because I am sitting in an office doing actually nothing because I don't have any work to do, but I have to sit here.
yep.
But you gotta sit there.
So
I'm sorry. I got a text a few minutes ago from our sitter. Quote of the day from our child. You're my best friend, but sometimes you need to go away.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
That's
Wild.
brutal.
That's
Hey,
wild.
she's setting good
I was
boundaries.
gonna say that's just it'd be like that.
For sure. It's just kids are wild. It's just like the way they say it.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to go away.
Make that my bio on Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a great upgrade to our tavern.
yeah,
You guys want to get to a point where we can upgrade again?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okie doke.
I think a gym would be a good upgrade.
No.
that would be.
Thank you.
At a restaurant?
Yeah.
No, people get less hungry after they've lifted.
What?
Is that true?
I do.
Joseph does. I get the
I was
opposite.
gonna say you're
get
free.
But
Ravenous.
we can make a drink that's like pre-workout or something.
Yeah, but also you've got
And then it can
sweaty
go
people right
be
next to the
itchy?
food.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I really don't like about
It probably
is
wouldn't smell very good.
I don't want it to be stinky.
We're on the ocean. It smells like
Dead fish.
dead fish all the time.
Not
Just
out like
Sweaty
out
people
in
would
the
be
ocean.
an upgrade.
I've never been out in the ocean. I don't know why I said that so
disagree.
confidently.
I don't think
I think the shore is probably the stinkiest part of the ocean.
probably.
Yeah.
But that's when we're gonna have patrons who are using the gym.
Yo, true. Wait,
Oh,
no.
that's true. We're not just gonna be like,
But also, a moving gym does not make a lot of sense.
oh yeah,
'cause
just
then
thinking about the weights. Just
the weight's moving, but also like for the customers, right? Like if I've got a gym membership and my gym leaves for 6 months
well,
out
it's
of the
by
year.
the day, you know.
Okay,
Mm.
all right.
And
Okay.
then we
Just
don't
like,
have
wow.
constant customers whenever we're on the water.
There's
So we'd
actu-
have to be in port for longer.
Do we ever have customers on the water?
I was assuming yes.
I
That's
thought people
so
would
wouldn't
roll
we
up.
have constant customers on the water?
Well, I don't think people
Yeah.
like follow us.
Well,
Maybe they do.
yeah,
I was imagining it as like we transport
people as well.
and they like stay at our
Oh,
tavern
Okay.
That's what I
as
had
like
in
their
mind as
hotel
well.
type thing.
But as we were having this conversation, I realized I don't think we ever defined that.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking hotel. I was thinking like we are a merchant ship that also has a tavern on the top. And like we just trade goods. That's how I was picturing it.
As a side note, I was watching the Detroiters, I think it is what it's called. They had a whole episide where
That's the one with the guy with the face, right?
yeah, with the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one who does I think you should leave.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is it Tim Robinson? I don't know. Anyways, there was a bar, like a hipster kind of a bar, where you have to pedal it as you're going along, and it like goes along the roads and things as you're sitting there
Oh, like
drinking
a
and pedaling.
Booze cruise,
Oh.
but like
You do the
You're
cruising?
also-
But on a bike.
But on
Yeah.
a bike, yeah.
cool. I've seen
It,
Sounds cool.
like bike versions of those on TV shows where it's like everybody pedals the bike and
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's what he's talking about.
That's
yeah.
what he said. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you were saying paddle, not pedal. And so I was
Oh.
picturing like a boat.
oh no, no,
And I
no.
was like, yeah, that's perfect for our
Pedal.
little boat. Pedal.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Not to be confused with petal, like a
Like
flower.
a flower.
Isn't the English language fun?
It's
Ugh,
the worst.
it's the worst.
We
Anyway,
should all switch to Portuguese. It's the perfect language.
that is true.
It's written like it's spoken, spoken like it's written. It's all I want out of life.
Food.
Dibs, I'm picking.
Okay. You can definitely have dibs. Before we start, I do want to go over our characters really quick because we didn't do that last episode, and I feel like
Oh, we
since
didn't?
no,
Oh,
we did it our first
Mm-hmm.
episode, but we didn't do it last episode, and I think all of us would benefit from hearing each other's characters again.
okay.
It's more of a selfish thing than for the listeners, if I'm being honest.
Hello, I am Julius O'Gloon, more like O'Gloom, though. Am I right? He's a former wizard, currently pursuing a job as the lookout for this vessel. Still has use of his prestidigitation, magic missile, and arcana, but he has learned ears to the ground or to the sea, I guess. As part of like his town experience. And he's a former adventurer.
I'm Norman. I'm a dwarf. I have a cut over one eye. It looks really hardcore. I got it from a horse. Don't tell anyone. I was a beastmaster in my previous adventuring career, and specifically a farrier, where I would cut the horse's nails and give them new shoes and stuff. My adventure experiences are hunter sense and master trapper, and my town job, or my boat job, is farmer. I keep to the little flower beds and fruit things that we've got on the ship itself.
My character's name is Lena. I am tall with dark red hair. I have lots of tattoos. Most of them look like tarot cards. I carry a tattoo gun with me, and I wear gloves covered in runes. I am a modder. Do we have to go over our adventure experiences or anything?
Not if you don't want to.
Okay. And my modder is like, the way that I'm flavoring it is I tattoo enchantments on my body. But modder is like you can modify your body with like magic and stuff. And my town job is a tattoo artist. I tattoo things. Sometimes magical, sometimes they're just normal.
Art is magic.
True.
Facts.
I'm Leon. I was a paladin as an adventurer. I am now the boat's healer. I used to carry the shield on my back, and I traded it for apples. Yeah. That's me.
And then I am Ren. I used to be a rogue. I'm now the chef for our little tavern. And that's it. Really, I look like a rogue.
But she cooks like a chef.
Yeah. Okay.
Cooking like a chef. Never mind. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Sorry.
I know what you're doing.
5-star Michelin. Thank you.
Mini game.
I've changed the minigame that I wanted to do.
Oh,
You can't
okay.
do that.
I did.
Damn, that's crazy.
We're going on an NPC side quest.
Ooh.
Your adventuring days may be over, but there are plenty of people in town or in port that could use your help. Set up. Anyone can play.
Keep reading.
Decide where you are when you encounter the side quest. Are you in the tavern, walking around town, on the road leading in? Other players can jump in, ask questions, add details, or play NPCs throughout the minigame. Who would like to join?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'll join.
I think I'll sit this one out.
Okay.
I personally would like to suggest that we stay on the ship.
It can be a customer
For this one?
request.
Yeah, just because we've done some out in town stuff, and I feel like we
Okay.
haven't spent a lot of time on our ship.
He wants us to kill the ocean.
Yeah. Caesar?
Because
Mhm.
everyone hates Poseidon.
He's Poseidon himself with sadness.
Goodness gracious.
Are you joining?
Yeah.
I'll heal you guys when you get back.
Okay.
So, the NPC side quest has 3 scenes. If you already have a quest in mind, go straight to the scenes. You can also create a quest using the create a quest instructions. The 3 scenes are initial request, undertaking the quest, and the return and reward. So, I am going to go ahead and create the quest using this little handy dandy create a quest mechanic thing.
What is it?
You will need a standard deck of playing cards and a 6-sided die to create a quest. Draw a card from the deck and roll a die. I got a jack of clubs.
Again.
Clubs are gathering quests.
Ooh.
Herbs for the apothecary, spices for the kitchen, minerals for new paint, etc. Towns and taverns both need large amounts of gatherable resources. And a jack is a trusted regular, is the one who gives us this quest. And the die says you need some of your old adventuring gear to do this, and it's been buried under other things in your room. So,
in our room. Dang it.
Why'd you pause?
Ironically, we just
Sorry.
buried it in the ground.
No, I was like, instead of like physically buried it, we had to go get your shield back. From the
that
apple
would be
guy.
why.
might I suggest that it is gathering from the sea floor?
Ooh,
Oh.
okay.
She sells there,
Yeah.
down by the seafloor.
So, the initial request, what are they asking you to do, and what is the situation? Who would like to be the NPC?
Oh, I can do it since I'm not going on the quest. I'm trying to think of what I need from the seafloor. Oh,
Hey,
No,
you
I
all
got
topped off on drinks?
can I start it, please? I
Go
really
for
want
it.
to
Please.
start. So, our favorite regular patron, Steve the guy,
I'm writing
is
it down.
sitting at the bar. He takes a sip, and at first he just goes, and then nothing happens. Everyone's still working because they actually have jobs. And he goes, "Oh, woe is me. Would that there was a crew of adventurers that could help me with what ails me."
Did you need like more drinks?
Oh,
or
Oh!
something?
He said
Steve, we're
ale.
in a-
More ale.
Ale?
We're in a tavern.
No, instead I need help from trusted friends.
Oh,
Okay.
are they coming
Do you need
back
a
soon?
phone or
Or
You
something?
see, I can only rely on you, and he grabs your hand. You and your
Oh,
compatriots
I
are the only
don't-
people I
don't
can
like
trust with
physical
such a task.
contact.
We met you like a week ago.
You see, I have done what many a man has done. My anniversary is coming up, and I forgot. And my wife loves lapis that can only be found at the bottom of the seafloor.
Could you spell that?
Lapисite. And if my beloved tavern, like crew, whatever, and friends would be so kind as to retrieve for me 6 lapisite from the seafloor, I would reward you with my continued faithful patronage.
I'm sorry, we're out of the adventuring business. Besides, I mean-
And 17 gold doubloons.
Son of a
Okay.
bitch, I'm in.
okay. Let me talk to everybody else first.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for agreeing to accept my
Yeah.
request.
Yeah.
That
All
doesn't
right.
sound like an agreement.
And then huddle.
Why did you agree to that?
I didn't agree to anything.
I heard you.
I said that I would talk to you guys. I mean, I have a couple. I'm pretty sure I still have some of my water breathing scrolls somewhere. I don't know. I mean, do we want to do that? I mean, we're just kind of like floating on by. Would help make the days go by a little.
Yeah, I mean, we could upgrade the board game collection.
I've been ever since we got offices and bosses.
That's
I've been
all
a
I can
little
think
bit-
about.
I've been obsessed.
Okay. Love that. Glad you guys are enjoying the games. I know we're excited about the gold. I think it's actually really important that we go specifically to keep him happy. And here's why. He's away from home a lot, right? He's with us all the time. So if he's this worried about his anniversary, he's probably been married for a while. I also know that is it lapisite?
Mm-hmm.
Lapisite is very expensive, which means his wife has expensive taste. If that's her favorite stone, and he needs 6 of them, that means he comes for money. Him offering us 17 seems to me like he's testing our loyalty to that relationship more than he's like actually needing us specifically to go get this thing. Rich people have rich friends who also like to be away from home a lot and pretend to be going on adventures when really they're just essentially on a cruise.
Booze cruise.
I think we go in there, we be really excited about the opportunity to help him out. Really ham it up. We'll go use your water breathing scrolls, grab what we need, maybe a little extra so we can like sell it at port, and then come back and go from there.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Let's do it.
All right, someone else talked to him. He touched me last time, and I did not.
I
enjoy
love
that.
love. I'll tell him.
Yeah, you go ahead and deal with that. I don't want him touching
Oh,
me
hey,
either.
Steve.
Hello.
So we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I will happily get that for
Oh
you.
my goodness! And he
We
wraps your
could-
hands with both of his hands, and he like shakes them up and down violently. He goes, "Thank you so much."
I
I
shake
have no idea
it
what this
back
means.
as violently as I can, trying to match his energy.
My wife and I appreciate it.
Excitedly. Trying to be really excited.
I'll be sure to tell her all about you guys once we get into port.
Okay.
I go and
We're closed now. You have to go.
Oh, okay. I'll go then.
This is a 4-man job. And the other person is Izzy.
I feel like we don't have to close up. Like Leon can probably
Oh, yeah, I guess it's...
man it while
yeah. Well,
you're away.
that's because
But it is
actually,
closing time. Get out.
as part of the die roll, if we got a 1 or a 2, it would be this is going to take a while. You'll need someone to cover your shift at the tavern.
Oh, okay. All right. Should
What
we
did
make
we
this
get?
die roll?
Oh, we already rolled,
did it.
and that's for needing to get gear from
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
from
Cool.
the olden days.
From the vault.
Oh, you got to go find those scrolls?
So
Mhm.
I go, I get like under my cot, and I pull out. It's a bunch of like dirty laundry that I know I need to get to, but I
Next time.
haven't next time for sure.
Just magic clean it?
Just way too many hats.
Yeah,
They're all
it's-
the like massive wizard hats.
It's pretty messy, but as I like pull through there, I then pull out like a foot locker, and I open it up. A little bit of dust kind of like puffs up. But looking in there, everything is meticulously and very neatly folded. And I kind of like go in and I get a little feather duster and I kind of like dust out of here a bit. I haven't been in here in quite a while. Ugh, musty. Go through and like really quickly catalog through like a whole series of scrolls until I find the correct ones and pull them out, reseal, close it, push it back, and then bury it again with more of the dirty laundry. Come out to you all with these scrolls. I unfurl them and then start reading off the enchantment, and as I say the words, the letters and runes on the paper begin to glow all the way through, and then I place it up against your chest, and then I like smack the paper, and it kind of like seals itself to your body. And down at the bottom corner, you can see that it is starting to like ever so slowly like disintegrate away, almost kind of like a timer for how long you have with this water breathing.
Well,
That's sick.
time's ticking, and I am going to jump off the side of the ship, and I sink like a rock
I'm
because
gonna
I'm a dwarf.
cannonball.
I'm gonna feather fall.
Yeah, I just dive in normally, I think. Probably like a true dive, not like a feet first thing. Like a
I know that you guys have probably gone on a whole bunch of these kinds of adventures, you know. I'm sure you've done deeds almost as good as, you know, the wizard Farron Rock and dealing with the demon army. Any of those kinds of more grandiose quests, but I think this is about the most action that I've ever gotten. It's always been delivery quests, simple herb gathering. The most that we would see is like a small goblin nest, but
Oh, me too. This is totally down my my alley.
Oh, you've already done something like this? I mean, this
Well,
is.
a fetch quest. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just getting rocks.
I know, but I mean, I haven't actually had. I got these scrolls a long time ago because I was expecting to have more harrowing journey, more grand things, but you know, definitely that imposter syndrome going through.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I thought I was gonna adventure a lot more than like leave, go places, you know. Kind of just stayed in the main city. If it weren't for my husband having the ship, I probably would have stayed in that city the whole time. I mean that's where the money's at, you know. So, I mean, I guess all that to say, like, I've heard a lot of rumors around town since that's where I spend a lot of time, and to me, it sounds like most adventurers don't do much as far as like slaying dragons and toppling fiefdoms and whatever. I think most of it is just this.
Huh.
Yeah. But
Yep. Shoveling horse shit.
I feel like
I
you've
didn't
had
do
a-
that. So
I feel like you guys all had a very different experience. I traveled quite a bit.
And see, that's.
I mean, I traveled, but it was always with the stables. I didn't get to go see anything cool.
And then when, you know, you're walking around town, someone's like, oh my gosh, you were an adventurer? And you're like, yep. Oh, cool. What kind of crazy adventuring stories do you got? Come on, let's hear it. Where'd you end up getting to go? Did you go on this quest or this quest? And you're just like, you
Stare
know,
into the void.
stare into the void. And
All you're thinking about is horse shit.
I mean, I feel like your experience is very specific. But
I went to a volcano once.
Listen, I cleaned so many horses. Okay, every Monday. They were like, "Hey, let's get all the grunts out there." They didn't help at all. They didn't know what they were doing. They don't know their way around a horse. I had to do it all for them anyway. I don't know why they were like, you know, they're the ones that are going to ride them into battle. They need to be the ones to clean their shoes. Like, no, they don't. I had to redo everything anyway.
yeah, I was just support mostly. You know, a buff here or there. Most exciting thing I got to do was once I was able to cast a haste on a whole party before they went into a dungeon. They were in and out in like 15 minutes.
That's
but,
pretty awesome, though.
yeah, but it's not like you're part of it. You're just kind of in the background as support.
I would have killed to have that type of help when I was doing heists. You know what's crazy is like everybody says that they want to get into heisting. And then they get there and they don't do anything. Like kind of like your horses. Like they don't do anything. You beg and plead for them to like, you know, do something. It's hard work. Like sounds kind of awful, but like stealing from people is hard work. Like there's a lot that goes into it, you know. And then they don't like find any way to like be useful to the greater team. They're just there for themselves, you know. If we had had somebody like you, like a wizard, like, oh man, jobs would have been so much easier, so much better. Instead, we just had a bunch of me's running around, but worse, because they had all the grumpiness, but none of the skill or willpower to do it. So I wish my team was a little bit more support, quote unquote.
As we're just having the conversation
Continuing
as we're
to
just like
dive.
falling.
But it's cool you went to a volcano. That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
It was pretty sick.
I've always wanted to do something like that.
I feel like I would have gotten out of adventuring a little bit earlier if it wasn't as interesting as it was for me. I did get to travel a lot of places. Maybe I got to travel a lot of places because I stuck with it for a long time. It was really boring in the beginning. Like the first 10 years, a bunch of fetch quests, like tiny little groups of goblins. Like you couldn't even call that a horde. It's just, but so it makes sense that sometimes you might not get that big adventure that you want.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus, my bones hurt now because of it. Like, not just sometimes, actively. I'm always in pain. Do you know how many times I've been poisoned? By stupid traps. Who puts these traps there? I'm just
sorry.
trying to open a chest. It's got like 3 gold in it. I didn't know that, of course, but then I had to like check for traps or I get a freaking poison dart to the neck. What's up with that? Who are you protecting 3 coins so much? There wasn't anything else. There was nothing else in that dungeon.
Right? The poison's got to cost more than 3 coins.
Exactly.
What are they even?
sometimes it's just a big fuck you, you know?
That's
Sounds
what I
like you
need to
could
get.
have used a rogue.
Yeah, I need to get into the laying traps in ancient areas business.
Maybe that can be our side hustle.
It's very popular.
Make all of the money for the tavern that way. Actually,
I feel like
No,
you'd be good
no.
at that.
I mean, thank you.
Well, if we find a really nice looking cave down here, we can set a few traps.
Hopefully no one comes and gets it. Put like 1 gold piece in it. Call it good.
The dust kind of like starts to pick up, making like some clouds as we finally reach the bottom. What are the obstacles along the way?
Crabs.
You can ask other players for suggestions. How do you accomplish your task?
Really big crabs.
How
Really
deep
big
is
crabs?
this?
Ooh, maybe the lapisite is growing on the back of the crabs.
Ooh.
And he's shiny.
He's
No.
shiny.
It's perfect.
I hate it here. So much.
We were thinking of the same crab.
Yeah, I mean, we could do giant crabs.
Yeah.
So land down and we look ahead kind of in the murky darkness. I wave my hand really quick and magical light kind of like orb emanates out and we see it kind of reflecting in like really sparkly kinds of patterns off the lapisite that we see currently like coming up out of the sand in front of us. I guess there it is.
I am going to lick my finger and hold it up like I'm trying to catch a wind, right? But I'm like, the current's eastward.
Does that
He
help?
can't smell us.
Oh,
Is the lapisite is on the crab?
yeah, I think we can like
Okay.
see just the edge of its shell or something.
Yeah. If we try and sneak up behind it, they've got blinders. See, most crabs can't see out of their left or right sides past 30 degrees.
It's very
So-
specific knowledge. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's my hunter's sense, some might say. But I learned a lot about animals when I was in the stables.
Maybe if
Dude, his voice changes every time.
Yeah.
It'd be
Okay.
like that.
So
It'd be like that. No, it's okay.
Maybe it just sounds different underwater.
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe there's actually several
Canon.
people trapped in one body.
Whoa.
He has
Dude.
split personality. Yeah.
well, maybe if you want to rouse it. I mean, I was able to practice this a lot, but I haven't actually been able to use it in battle all that much. I can probably take out its eyes and its face pretty quick.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah.
okay, I guess
Let me sneak up on him first.
that
and,
doesn't. I was gonna disguise myself as like more of the rock and lapisite on it. But if you're gonna take
Ooh.
out its eyes, I don't have
Can-
to.
Can you disguise me too? We can get up behind him, and I got my hammer. I can hit him in the kneecaps.
Goodness, poor crab.
Hey, I took inspiration from your story with the arrow in the knee.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking we could do the same to him. Then his adventuring days are over.
I just ask that we try to keep as much of him intact as possible
Why?
because we could serve crab for weeks.
Okay.
This is a ton of meat.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
This
That's a good
crab's
point.
got to be at least 300 years old.
Yeah, let's get him.
Yeah. He's lived a long life. He's fine.
Yeah, same.
As you're as you're skirting around, then I'll just kind of like wave my hand around my forearm as blue light kind of like emanates around, and then I hold my finger kind of like a gun and just kind of point it towards him.
Why does he hold his finger like that?
Because it's like a gun.
It's aiming. kind
Do
of
we
a
have
measure.
guns
Mm.
in this?
Not
Maybe
necessarily.
you
but,
learned
like,
it from offices.
Offices,
and
bosses.
bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The postal DLC.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's do this.
Anyway,
So I aim, and as he kind of like gets his legs out and starts coming up and like clinking his claws, I just as 3 magic missiles go out, one into each eye, and then one to his face area.
At the
That's
same
good.
time,
crab faces freak me out.
we break his kneecaps.
Yeah, one on each side.
Smash, smash. That's my sound effect.
perfect.
I'm very careful because I'm allergic to crab.
Oh no.
I feel like we should have warned you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Well, we
okay. I
didn't
mean,
know
we
it
didn't
was
know there
gonna
was
be
going
on
to be
a
a crab.
crab.
And it's like, if as long as they
Well-
don't eat him,
I mean,
Okay, it's not like a touch problem? Or is
I
it-
don't know. I don't touch crabs.
Okay, that's fair.
I haven't been like, what if
I just wouldn't
Yeah,
from now on, just in case.
I could just use one of my swords to.
Yeah, that's a good plan. You don't have to help carry it back up.
I won't.
Okay.
I could chariot it up.
Cool.
I
Anything
think
else?
from there, I can probably swim up and start gathering it.
Yeah.
Since I've seen it before and would know like which parts are the lapisite
What is your name again?
and which parts are not.
Norman.
Norman.
I don't know. It's such a normal name.
Yeah,
That's why it's so.
normal man.
Yeah.
Norman.
We look like rocks. Just pointing out.
Yeah, don't accidentally harvest them.
Yeah, don't
I
harvest.
won't. I won't. I think I watched probably when you guys turned into a rock.
Yeah, and it's more like a camouflage, not necessarily like.
Yeah, it's a ghillie suit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Ooh, sorry. I just thought like an underwater ghillie suit would be cool.
Ooh, it would.
Could
Look like the
pretend to
water.
be like an octopus.
Oh, I was thinking you could be seaweed.
Oh, that would be cool too.
Mm.
I just like how like
It's just cool because
Hmm.
it would be up.
there's a reason we don't do video for the podcast.
You don't like my seaweed?
No, I like yours. I just realized that like we look ridiculous being like, oh,
Yeah, that's why
our
we-
arms.
We do podcasts because we never sound ridiculous.
Mm,
No.
yeah, never. Are there any other obstacles that we'd like to place?
I think that's enough.
Okay.
I think after like casting that spell, I'm kind of like hand onto my hip and just like, oh fuck, haven't cast magic like this often in quite some time. Whew. Yeah, let me take a breather here. Sit
You
down
good?
next to a rock. Yeah, it's just I haven't practiced as much as I did in the past. Yeah, I just need a breather real quick. All right,
Okay.
let's get this stuff.
I mean, take your time. We have a decent amount of time left, and I look down at our little scrolls.
Sizzling away.
Yeah. So after that, it's the return and reward. Do you come back exhausted? That was me role playing that I'm coming
Ooh,
back exhausted.
I like that. Thank you.
Triumphant, irritated. What did they promise to give you in exchange for your help?
17 doubloons.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy enough. We pull on a specific part of the water breathing scroll and we start to like ascend up.
But not too fast.
But not too fast.
Don't want to get the bends.
The Mercedes Benz.
It's the fancy kind of health problems.
Oh, that was something, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
I want a turkey sandwich when I get home.
You sure you don't want crab? So we got plenty of crab
I don't
now.
want to die.
Oh yeah, that's
Also,
right.
turkey sandwich is the best kind of sandwich to eat after it's swimming.
Mm. Okay.
Was that like proven?
No, it's just really good. I like it. That's what I like. That's what I had as a kid.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've always just been about rice. It's always been about rice.
Okay.
We need more rice dishes.
I
We
don't
have
know
so
why
much rice.
you.
We mainly make rice.
Yeah, there's rice with
There should be
most of our
more.
dishes.
Okay, we can talk about that later.
But all you eat is
Tell
the
me what you
plain
want.
rice.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't fly.
I was gonna say it's boat rice because we eat on the boat. Bro.
Gosh.
So, we got your lapisite.
Cool.
Here you go.
Thank you so much. My
And-
wife and I will be eternally grateful. And he pulls out a bag. And you
I
get-
also got you this 50% off coupon for your anniversary.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll be
So-
sure to put it to good use.
Yeah, we're excited to have you two lovebirds.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then,
Um,
oh,
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, that awkward silence was in character.
it was.
Yeah, I know. Me trying to break it was also in character, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna fast forward us to port so we can see Steve the guy, but I think that's a little extra.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The ship ports, and Steve, after shaking hands with everyone except for you, and waving goodbye, gets off the boat, and then his friend Robert the dude comes up to him and he goes, "Hey, Steve, you're finally back. We're gonna go. The boys and I are gonna go axe throwing at axes and throws. You wanna come with?" And then Steve goes, "Oh yeah, no, probably tomorrow or like maybe another day. It's my anniversary, so I gotta go visit the wife." And they were like, "Okay, man, yeah, anytime, hit us up." And then we see Steve, the guy, walk into like a local like I don't know what you call candle makers, but one of those shops, and he buys like a lavender scented candle, and then he walks like to the far side of town, into the cemetery.
Oh no, I knew it
Nice.
was gonna be sad.
Yep. I was like, this is an Uncle Iroh story.
And then you see him sit down, and then he lights the candle, the scent that I already forgot, lavender, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Um,
always lavender with you.
It's always lavender, always has been. He sets down the 6th lapis on the grave, and he pours like two glasses of liquid, and he goes, "Man, it's been 6 years already, huh?" And he kind of starts modeling, but he goes, "I've been really well. I know you always like to hear my stories from the cruises, so let me tell you about some of my new friends." And then the scene pans upwards as he continues to talk to his wife's tombstone. Yippee.
Bro, why your wife always gotta die?
Dude, carries it
You
all
did
there,
this.
man.
Uncle Iroh's son dies.
Yeah, true. And I wrote
That
Uncle
hits
Iroh.
just as hard.
Yeah,
Harder,
no, but
some
why
might
does
say.
he always have to make it sad?
We
Oh.
all kind of.
Yeah, that's true. we
Honestly, it's
do.
your guys' fault,
What?
Maybe.
not my fault.
A candle maker is known as a chandler.
Mm.
It also might be pronounced chandelier,
Mm.
but I am reading, so I don't know how it's pronounced.
Yippee.
Yeah, chandler, I think it is.
I think that's
Chandler.
correct. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
that one
where we
guy's
get the
name.
name
Mhm.
The
from.
name chandelier. Yeah.
Mm.
Ooh, a chandlery is a shop.
Whoa.
Hmm, fancy. Now we know.
Now we know.
Now we know.
It's nice that we're a positive influence on him, I guess. Like a positive part of his life.
And that's a mini game.
And that's a mini game.
Yeah.
A
He
game
never
theory.
uses the coupon then.
Well, I mean, he'll probably just use it on himself.
Yeah.
No, he's one of our regulars, so
He'll probably
He-
tell us next time.
gets
It was supposed to be for him and his wife.
Yeah.
sure.
Oh.
But you just did
Uh.
like a percentage off, right? Like you didn't
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
like dinner
It
for
wasn't
two
like-
only
or anything
applies
on
if you.
there.
Only
Yeah,
applies
sorry,
if
we
your
can't
wife is
accept
alive.
this.
No, that's why it got awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Rip.
I think he
like
doesn't
it.
typically tell people, but he likes to
Yeah.
still talk about her like she's alive.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh.
One of those. Yeah. That's rough.
that's sad.
My forearm.
My wife.
Your forearm's cramping?
Ooh.
You been rock climbing lately?
I wish.
What's that tattoo?
Mm.
Hmm.
Missy's got a game.
Yeah, we're gonna do festival day.
Okay.
Oh.
It's on 96,
Okay, but what day is it on? September 6th?
probably.
Yeah. 96.
Mm-hmm.
Says your town is known around. Wow, I can't read. You're known. Your town is known across the region for its spectacular festivals. How do you prepare? How do you handle the crowds? So, obviously, we are traveling
On a boat.
food truck boat. So I was thinking like we knew that there was going to be a big festival in one of the port cities. And so we're getting prepared for the festival. We plan to be there, and like at least around where we live in real life, food trucks are like pretty popular, especially for carnivals and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. So I figured we could have it be like we plan for it to be really busy, and like are hoping that we get more patrons and whatever. So anybody can play as your adventurer or as a named NPC. What kind of festival is happening today? Each player describes one decoration or feature of the festival, and then does your character care about the festival or do they hate it? I think that makes a little bit more sense for like a festival in a town that you're living in to have like really strong feelings about it. But I'm sure if you've been to this port before, you could come up with a good reason for it.
So are we working we're working the festival because we're a food truck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we can go on like shifts and stuff
Yeah.
too, though.
We're also cool. Okay.
So, from there, we're going to take turns playing out the scenes of the festival. On your turn, ask another player to take on a challenge from the list or create one you want to see them attempt. If a player is having trouble thinking of a solution, the group can ask clarifying questions or suggest additional details or complications for the challenge. Once you've described how you will resolve a challenge, flip a coin. On heads, you succeed. On tails, your character is knocked out for the rest of the minigame. Each player can use an experience once during a challenge to automatically succeed and gain a point. If you're knocked out, you can still attempt challenges as a named NPC until all of them are knocked out too. When you've earned 5 points, or if all characters have been knocked out, whichever happens first, turn to the cleaning up section. And then there's like a bunch of different little heads or tails coin flipping things. We just hadn't used
Cool.
the coin mechanic yet, and I wanted to. So,
When I saw the heads and tails, I was like, yes, the coin.
so what kind of festival is happening today is something we gotta figure out.
Festival of the Returning Sun, celebrating when
Winter
vampires.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
Returning sun, so like spring, right?
No, well-
It's like,
Or-
but vampires. That sounds pretty. That sounds cooler than
It
spring.
could be a combo.
I think probably a
because
combo.
spring is coming back. The vampires
They're hibernating
are
for the spring.
Yeah,
Mm.
maybe.
Okay,
Okay.
hear me out.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's gonna cook.
So, winter going into spring, and when the days are supposed to be getting kind of like longer, they weren't a long time ago. They were actually getting progressively more short.
Even shorter.
Even shorter, to the point then where the sun did not rise until groups of adventurers came in and cleared out some vampire nonsense going on that was like blotting out the sun. And
With
this is
Ariel's
the
spell.
day
Yeah.
to remember it coming back.
Nice. I like that.
I like it.
Is it like on the spring equinox?
Yeah.
What is the difference between an equinox and a solstice? They're opposites, right?
They are,
So
yeah.
summer and winter are solstices.
Yeah. So equinox, right? Equal night and day.
Mm.
Equinox.
Okay, I get. That makes
Yeah.
sense now.
So,
Is that true? Is that
Yeah.
why?
so on the spring and fall equinoxes, the day is the same
Just as
length
long
as
as
the
the night.
night.
And the solstice, they're the opposites.
Yeah,
of each
it's
other.
like the longest day
and the longest
and the
night.
shortest.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
I didn't actually know that.
Oh,
I knew
But,
the
like, I
solstice
knew-
one 'cause
I
you told me
knew
before, or maybe you told
The
me.
solstices,
Mhm.
but I didn't know.
the equinox.
Yeah, like I never really
Like, I
thought about
didn't
the fact
know-
that it would be
That makes
the
sense.
same.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that words like have logic behind them?
Yeah, it's weird.
Sometimes you just think they're words, and they are, I guess. But like sometimes words are other words.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Latin. It's
Latin.
wild.
Land it.
Wait, finish that.
Nah, I'm good.
Each player describes one decoration or feature of the festival. So we've got our vampire spring theme.
Oh.
Vampire pinatas.
Ooh, dibs. I've got one too.
Okay.
Are we acting
everybody-
these out or what? No.
You describe
Describe.
it.
Ooh, I have
Oh,
one that I
okay.
You can-
specifically want. Can I do it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a play on how they defeated the vampires. Sorry, I had a recurring dream as a kid where I went to a beach, and then there was a stage there, and then there were these people acting on a play, but then they were vampires, and they started chasing me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my destiny.
Wow.
It all led to this moment.
Yeah, there's
Playing
the ocean.
Stewpot.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted that to be.
No, I like that. So mine is step right up, just get that arrow right through the vampire's heart. And there's a bunch of like cardboard cutouts of vampires looking very menacing. You know, they've got the cloaks, they got the fangs, and each one has a little ring where their heart should be. And like, step right up here, have some arrows. Oh, first one's on me.
These arrows or stakes?
They're like crossbow.
Oh.
Yeah, so
bolts.
crossbow bolts. But the heads of them are really big,
Oh.
and so it's hard to get them
Honestly,
through
that's
the
kind
ring.
of genius.
Yeah, it's for safety, I promise. And
I guess it would be not genius.
and then if you actually get it through the heart, you win a prize, obviously. And it's just the dumb little vampire teeth.
Oh, I was gonna say, is
Dude, I
it
used to
5
love
pounds of
those.
garlic?
5 pounds of that would be perfect for the boat.
Yeah.
Would be
Ooh.
actually.
But yeah, that's my addition.
I think in celebration of the sun, a lot of people make and wear flower necklaces and crowns made out of sunflowers.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of
Okay.
along the same lines that I was going to go with
Sorry.
as well. No. I was going to say like celebrating the sun, like the most of the festivities happen at night, but you wouldn't know it because there's so much like different light sources everywhere, and it's super bright, and so like from shore or like from the ocean, like where our boat is, like it looks like the sun. It's just
Like
so
on the horizon because it's so bright.
because it's so bright. But if you look at the surrounding areas, it's like pitch black once the festivities like actually start. And my add-on to that was going to be like there's a lot of like sun themed decorations everywhere.
Ooh, fire breathers.
Fire breathers.
There's
would
also
be
fire
cool.
breathers.
Sun dancers.
Mm.
They're fire dancers.
Bunch
but
of
the
people
sun.
T-posing.
If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
The fire festival.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Okay. Does anybody want to care or not care about this festival?
I think it's really cool.
I think it's dumb. I'm a dwarf. I live underground,
Oh,
and
Oh, you don't
give
I,
a shit
about the sun.
I do not care about the sun.
I guess dwarves also live in.
The Durgar are
Mountains.
way down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are insane because of the sleeping entity that lives underneath them.
Okay.
That's fair. That like you don't see a reason to
Yeah,
like
like,
specifically
Oh,
celebrate the
great!
sun.
There's light.
I didn't
You know what
see
else
the
gives you light? This candle. And-
Lavender scented.
Oh, look at this.
Ooh, I got a sun right here.
The
Yeah.
fire in my forge.
I am, yes, grumpy, but happy we're making money.
I think I like it, but I don't like crowds.
I like it, and I like crowds, and I like seeing everyone so happy.
Yeah, I just like the bright atmosphere of it.
I also really like sunflowers.
I specifically like it because this port I've never been to before, so I'm not wanted. So I'm
Nice.
really excited to be able to like get off the ship
Nice.
and not have to be disguised and just be able to like hang out. So it's not really about the festival itself. It's more just thank heavens I can get off the boat. Okay, so we're going to take turns playing out scenes from the festival. On your turn, ask another player to take on a challenge from the list or create one that you want to see attempted. And I think we talked about like we'll take shifts. So because some of these are specific for like the tavern itself.
Okay.
I think most of them are.
Ooh, I can take the first one.
Okay, sure.
So I am prepping potatoes, right? I'm like peeling them and cutting them down to make fries. And 1 hour in, we are out.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And so I am rushing. I am peeling faster than I've ever peeled before. And I flip a coin. Where's the coin? Thank you.
Is the pot tails?
Is the pot heads or is the stew pot heads?
I think that's something we can call as a table.
I like pot heads.
Okay.
Hey! Heads.
Okay.
Nice.
So you finish unscathed and gain a point.
What do I use my point for?
Well,
It's
we
for-
need to earn 5 points.
Oh, it's at the end. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I finished unscathed.
I was gonna say that would suck to get hurt and accidentally peel yourself.
Jeez, yeah. So you were able to get.
Potatoes.
Get the
Potatoes.
potatoes. I went faster than I've ever gone before.
Faster than perhaps anyone has ever gone. before.
Anyone ever.
Ever.
Is it because of my soup?
Yeah.
Lightning soup. No, quicken. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, lightning.
Quicken salamander.
soup.
Quicken. Okay. Yeah, that one.
Cool. It doesn't have to be about my soup. I just.
All right. So that is my.
Lena, have you ever done one of these crossbow shooting games?
Yeah, I have.
Any good?
I mean, it's designed for you to fail.
Well, I was
So-
just thinking because
okay.
I see one of the prizes they have there is quite a bit of garlic, and I've taken a liking to it. So,
Okay,
what, you want to try?
Sure. Yes.
I'm forcing you to take that challenge.
Yeah.
Potheads.
It did not
Hey, that's
flip
heads.
it.
It flipped at least one time.
I don't know if it
I
did.
don't think it did. It just kind of belly flopped. But
It did not flip at
it
all.
flew.
But I
I think that
fate.
counts.
Yeah.
That's fate to me.
attempted to flip it. So. Okay, and which one is this?
Oh,
is it?
it's just
Okay, I did it.
So you gain a point.
Guys,
Okay.
this game's
Oh.
easy.
And
points.
and 5 pounds of garlic.
Yeah, we do.
I imagine that you like aim it and you fire it, and it kind of like cracks one of the like cardboard things, but it's like ever so slight, so He's trying to be all like, no, I don't think that that really counted. You broke the thing. You didn't actually get that. And
It went through though.
the
Yeah.
people
Dead
around
center.
him were like, yeah, it went through. It went
Yeah,
through. That
yeah,
definitely
this is a
counts."
scam.
Maybe it shouldn't be made out of cardboard.
All right. Here, you want the vampire teeth?
I want that garlic. My
Oh.
friend loves garlic.
Okay.
Eats it by the clove.
Okay.
It's awful
disgusting.
being near him. That's why he doesn't like being near people, being touched.
Just open it up and just reach in, pop them.
Ah, nice.
Don't even peel them.
Dude, I was looking at a recipe in Portuguese the other day. They call garlic, like the individual cloves, they call them teeth.
Mm.
Oh, they
Like-
do kind of look like teeth.
Yeah, they're like, you use 3 teeth of garlic. And I was like, what the, a dent? Oh, okay. Yeah. So
That's kind of cool.
anyway, there's your cultural knowledge of the day.
What do we call them?
Cloves.
Cloves.
They're close. So what's the whole thing? A head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know stuff.
Look at you.
Okay.
2 points we have.
I think I'm gonna issue my challenge to Wesley.
Okay.
So you and I are on shift,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a bunch of customers, and they're all seeming to have a really good time, but they're pretty trashed, and they keep asking you, because they've decided you guys are best friends. They keep asking, like, "Hey, you should come drink with us. You should come drink with us." And then at a certain point, you've been like, nah, like
I'm working.
I'm
I shouldn't,
working, yeah. But at some point, one of them goes, "It's because he's too chicken, isn't it? He doesn't think he can drink like the rest of us." And
I can't.
one of the other ones, like, kind of like points and is like, "If you can drink as much as this guy," points to his friend,
Mhm.
"then we will empty our pockets for the night. Everything that we have to spend for the festival today will be yours. Are you in?"
I'm gonna look at Ren and be like,
I shrug.
it's for business. You know what I mean?
For business.
Yeah, they're gonna spend all their money, probably. And then I turn back to them and go, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'm in." And I flip my coin. I get tails, and then so we're going shot for shot. It's crazy. Like you know how like when you don't use a skill it atrophies.
Mhm.
Turns out your constitution does too. And it's been a minute since I drank, so we're like 27 shots in, and I go, "Be right back. I just gotta pee really fast," and I get up and I fall.
Oh, no.
They don't call me the drought for nothing. Ah! Downs the rest of the bottle.
You say the drought? Yeah, that's sick.
Uh,
Oh no, I'm out for the festival. Oh well.
as this happens, I like pull you back
Mhm.
behind the bar, and I start feeding you bread and like
Water.
water. Like, this is actually a lot better than I thought you were gonna do. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know how much he was gonna drink. That's crazy. But
And then I started like drunk mumbling as she like is just trying to get me to eat and drink water.
Can I get the coin?
I don't know, can you? Sorry, that's dumb. It's also
Thank you.
not grammatically accurate anymore. Like the definition, Webster updated it.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
that what?
There was an update.
Thank you, Mr. Webster.
Can is may and may is can. They essentially mean the same thing.
Oh,
It's like
good.
one of the
Thank
definitions of
heavens.
can is may.
Yeah.
Oh, is someone...
We started going. in a
Oh, I did
circle.
not realize we were doing it in
Oh, me
order.
neither. Can well, you should go because I got downed.
Oh, you can still
You
play
can
as an
still
Yeah,
NPC.
you
play
can
as
still
an
Are we doing NPCs?
challenge someone.
Well, we do still have Henry Fjord, Steve the guy.
Can we Steve the guy? Can someone give me a book?
If you want to think about it,
Yeah, I do want to
we
think
can have
about it.
Joseph go. I just
So I'm going to be like, hey, Caesar! We-
What?
Caesar. That's your name, right?
Julius.
Julius.
What?
You wrote
I
Caesar.
wrote Caesar down.
Sorry, I didn't mean to,
I
like,
don't
point
like
and
that
laugh.
nickname.
It's just a nickname.
There's
So
lots of garlic in the season.
Julius, we've got these two guys out on the back deck.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing Roman wands.
Roman wand. Oh.
Yeah, they're like the firework guy
Yeah.
from earlier. You know, his little stand over there.
Don't-
Yeah, he's shooting his stuff at one guy, and
Oh,
his,
my
and
God.
I figured since it's magic, that's your wheelhouse. So
All right.
if you want to go break him up, that'd be great.
Be right back. I go out there and I see like the firework shots going back.
Wait, what's the noise?
Thank you.
More of a
Hmm.
that the Roman candle makes.
Do you want to do the noise this one?
I just did it.
Okay.
Do it again.
And then sometimes a thud when you hit someone.
Yeah,
Not that I would know.
of course not.
Hey, knock it off.
Make us.
They start trying to like fire it at me. And then I will use an adventure experience.
Ooh, okay.
Hit with the
auto
magic
succeed.
missile.
I've already forgotten the magic
He's
missile.
already magicked his
Yeah,
missile.
he has.
He's magicked his last missile.
And I will use prestidigitation to kind of cause like small rain cloud to kind of like appear over top of them, and then just torrential downpour, completely extinguishing their wands. Their wands are now like soaked and can't like actually get a good spark anymore.
Oh.
Are you done?
Make me, old man. Flip your coin.
No, he used
He
it.
auto passes.
Oh, you
He used
auto
a
pass
skill.
because
Yeah.
you used it.
He's an
Oh,
adventure.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, make us. As they're like backing away down the gangplank.
Now, if you want, you can come in and have a drink, and I can fix those things up for you so they're not so pathetic. But
Oh.
Are they children?
are they children? I thought
I
it was
just
literally
assumed
the
they were children.
fireworks guy and someone else.
Oh! I think he was saying that he sold them. to
Yeah,
Ah,
sold them or like
gotcha.
stole it or something. I was picturing two teenagers, so
Okay.
I was
no
picturing
one's
the
picturing the
fireworks
same
guy.
thing.
I'll fix those up so that then they work a little bit better. Come on.
Oh, you're pretty cool for a boomer.
Isn't he like? Aren't you young? Are you old?
Youngish.
Yeah, but like
But they're
Kids don't know.
teenagers. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
And I take their wands and I inscribe a
born in the
rune to make
19th
their fireworks illusory.
Mm. But cool.
Smart.
what does illusory mean for those of us who
Like
don't
an
know words?
illusion
Yeah, they're
rather
not
than
real.
like actual
Ah, cool.
explosions.
The coin will be handed to me. We see everyone's favorite goat, Steve the guy. And this time he has a woman beside him, not his wife, she's dead. But she's like they kind of come in together and she's limping and she's dressed in like dancer's garb. And they sit at the bar and Steve goes and then nothing happens, and so they both
What?
go ah.
What's bothering you, Steve?
Well, my friend here, Lysandra,
Hello.
has sprained her ankle.
Oh, that's awful.
It's even more awful. It's truly the opposite of serendipitous, because she is a member of the Fire Lions dancing troupe 18, and they had a
You
performance.
probably know these legs.
um,
You can see the ankle is
Yeah,
quite swollen.
yeah. and
Rip.
and their performance is just about to start.
Oh,
But-
unfortunately, Leon's passed out right now.
Well, we've heard, and like he kind of leans in close over the bar, we've heard that your chef is actually quite agile and dexterous. So we were hoping that, for the sake of our friendship, we could beseech you.
Please.
Please. Not even just for us, for the festival.
The show
please.
must go on.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, I don't think she's gonna like that, but I can get her.
We can, and of course she'll be compensated for her time.
She
And
might like that.
all the festival goers will sleep soundly knowing that they saw a super cool fire dance.
Okay. I'm getting her. Like if
Please.
I'm just please.
Please.
Okay, Ren.
What's up?
Steve, the guy.
Uh-huh.
He
And Lysandra.
and Lysandra. I'm sure
The
you've heard of
dancer.
her. Sure you recognize her legs.
I know. Okay.
Despite having never been here.
The fire troop is pretty well known.
Yeah.
They're looking for a fire dancer, and Steve was like, "Ren?" question mark, but different than that. And he said that you will get paid. It's just because
I'll
you're
get
so
paid.
And the festival,
agile and dexterous.
and he yells from over the park, and the festival will be saved.
You will be a
Oh,
star.
Thank heavens for
hero.
the festival. I really need to stop drinking with customers. Okay. Yeah. I'll jog over to warm up, I guess.
Break a leg,
Ooh.
honey.
Okay.
Don't though. Don't do that.
It's an expression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you took it a little too literally. Okay, Lysandra, chill out.
It's because no
You-
one said it to me.
Would you like a drink?
Yes, thank you. Something fruity.
Okay. I serve you guys up some drinks. To you, Shirley
Wow.
That
Temple.
was so aggressive. Oh no. That is a tails. Did you have a specific outcome, or do you want me to use the one that comes from?
Oh, I didn't even look at that one. Yeah, we can use that one. I didn't have a specific outcome.
That's
in mind.
wild.
I was like dancers, and that's it. That's all I did.
So it takes ages and ages to memorize all the steps. You get it down, but you're gone for hours and hours. So,
So you will still get
save
paid.
the dance troupe will still
Yippee.
get
and
paid.
the festival.
But it's a lot more complicated than they made it out to be, and
I feel like.
it's like the biggest performance they have
Mm-hmm.
every year, and so they have multiple numbers, and being on the ship all the time, and now having sea legs, like trying to get all that was just a lot.
You want to see these legs again?
But
Lysandra shows her legs again.
it really just like it was like fine for me, but you guys didn't have a chef all night, so
I feel like Steve has a habit of saying, "Dude, it'll be easy," and then it's not as simple as he
Yeah.
says. Didn't tell
He's
you
like,
about
it's
the
not
giant-
hard because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I
Have
just
fun.
pay people to do it.
oh wait, no,
What?
I
wait.
can use the mechanic where I auto
Yeah,
succeed.
that's why I picked you.
Oh.
I'm gonna do that. And
That
I'm
was
gonna
in an
use
alternate timeline.
extraordinary agility,
Oh, yeah.
And we get
Yeah.
a point.
and we get a point.
Point number 3.
I'm sorry, I always
I thought that
forget
was
about
point
the
number
things
4.
I have.
That's point number 4.
Point number 4 is what I said.
Okay.
Do you want to describe it going pog, or do we just want to say it was great? She learned it so fast. She was actually the best dancer, and they tried to hire her, but she can't because she's a cook.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, and like performing in front of people is not her favorite, so
Mhm.
it was fun. She doesn't want to change careers.
Hmm.
She likes cooking.
I'm sure Lysandra
Where she
doesn't want to
can
be
be.
out of a job either.
Yeah. And then we hired Norman to like look at her ankle too.
No, I can do it.
You can
Wait,
do it?
I'm drunk.
Yeah, I can try. And
Wait, you're the healer.
yeah,
I'm sorry. You used to be a healer.
and just for horses.
Okay, I'm sorry. We hired Leon when he's done being drunk to like help fix her ankle.
Thanks, Leon.
Can we do that?
I'm sorry. I'm seeing Norman going up to her and be like, "Shh, it's okay." Feeds her a
Gives her
sugar
an
cube.
apple.
It just makes me think of Rick and Morty, where he's just like, "You're a horse surgeon." like it's not a real type of surgeon or something. To Julius.
The gloom. Wait,
Caesar.
not the- I keep.
So while you're out in the festival, like after you were done working, you feel a tug on your robe about waist height.
What is it?
Hello.
Hi.
I can't find my mom.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck? What is that?
Ask your mom. Let's,
I can't find my
let's
mom.
Find her.
I like your robe.
Thanks.
It's very pretty.
Thank you.
Where'd you get it?
Well, this one I actually.
I know a mouse who has a robe like this.
A mouse has
mouse.
just like
a
this
magic mouse.
one. I'll have to ask you about this magic mouse, but let's find your mom first.
All right. She has long hair,
Long hair.
and she's here at the festival.
Oh, that narrows it down.
I also have my dad here.
Where's your
Where's my
father?
mom?
Okay.
I like your hat. Can I wear it?
Oh, if I give this to you, will you stop asking so many questions?
No. Can I wear your
All
hat?
right, fine. And I plop the hat on, and it kind of like goes well past his eye line. It's kind of like only held on just by like the bridge of his nose.
Kind of like leaning back so he can see instead of just tilting it up.
Yeah.
Here, come here. And I pick him up and give him like a shoulder ride. Let me know if you can see your parents.
My dad's taller than you. When he has me on his shoulders, I can see more.
Well, I'm taller than average, I thought.
So's my dad.
Okay. Hello? Is anyone?
Mom! And he's kind of like grabbing onto your hair for dear life.
Oh.
Or like occasionally like his hand goes down and like kind of
covers your eyes a little bit as you're going like, ugh. What are your parents' names even?
Mom and dad.
Okay. Oh, okay.
This is such a real quest.
Sometimes they call each other honey.
Oh,
Honey!
honey. All right, and I'll flip.
Ah!
It's
That's a heads.
Nice.
Rip the can.
5 points.
Worthy sacrifice.
Finish your I'm just excited.
And I'm looking around scouting, and I think part of this is also one of the town experiences that I have gained from this festival. Eyes on the horizon. So just kind of like looking around and like reading body language of people as we go until I see like a woman panicked. Hello, is this?
That's my mom.
My baby.
Yeah, here.
Hi,
bring
Mom.
him down.
He
set him
said I
down.
could have his hat.
Thank you so much.
I love it.
You know what?
Thank you. What's your name?
That's fine. Julius.
Okay,
you're wonderful.
Julian,
Oh, I
thank
love
you.
your robes. Where did you get them?
You got them.
Yeah, I purchased them.
Oh, they look just like the mouse.
Yeah, they
I
do.
need-
I told
I
him. I
want
told him
some.
about the
Wonderful.
magic mouse.
Can you tell me where do I find this mouse?
Oh,
In the box. The magic box.
Okay, and I lean over to the mom. Is this like an imaginary mouse, or is this like a real thing?
oh well, it's real to her, and
Gotcha.
or him, and we walk off.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
That was an experience.
Happy sign.
I think I'm done with the festival for today.
Okay, so that's our 5 points. Cleaning up. It's finally over. As the festival draws to a close, count up your points. If your characters earned 5 or more points... Oh, we played this wrong.
Oh.
Did we?
Each of us, I think, were supposed to earn 5. Nah, I don't know.
I don't believe
You
that.
can upgrade the tavern by increasing a tavern rating. If all your characters got knocked out, describe how everyone helps each other recover. So no, we did it right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
I just need to read.
I'm
is
just
that
confused.
shit's hard, man.
I think maybe it's 5 or more, like if you have a bigger group.
So
Yeah.
it's 5 or all the characters being knocked out. So you play up to 5.
Oh.
Right, but the wording here says if your characters earned 5 or more points.
I think that's just if you wanted to play more,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
probably.
sure. Anyway,
There's a listener
we
out
get
there
to
reading it.
upgrade the tavern by increasing a tavern rating. finally take turns coming up with reviews of the festival and your tavern's participation from random townspeople. This could be whispers of conversation overheard around town, a mention in a local newspaper column, or even a social media post, depending on your setting. Good and bad, what did the festival attendees have to say about the tavern? What will your characters remember? Okay, so we need to figure out what we want to upgrade the tavern with. I think if you guys are excited to roleplay, we can roleplay first, though.
I was just gonna say a rumor. I wasn't gonna like roleplay it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I think there's a rumor going around now because some of the people in the festival recognized Ren from the boat, and now they think that we have dinner and a show sometimes, with Ren being the dancer for the boat.
Oh no.
That's not true, but sometimes people come and they're like, I heard you guys have dancers.
No.
Really, no, we just have the one. We probably don't say that, but that's the rumor.
I mean, I've taken a couple classes, but
I really liked the fact that they had some entertainment for the kids with those silly board games. Really let me drink a lot more.
Keep your kids entertained.
I think it's kind of cool that you could, like, make a trip out of it. Like, you could stay on the ship and then just hang out at the tavern, I guess. But that would be better than taking a carriage. They don't give you food that way, so.
I heard that one of them is a hero. My friend, whose name I don't want to say because I haven't thought of it, he saved her son, and he gave her his hat. His hat. It was just like the one that magic mouse has.
I heard that the vampire game is rigged, and those rings are way too small. That's my rumor.
Her food was pretty good. Wonder if they have, like, if it's a chain restaurant or what's going on with that.
Boat restaurant.
No, it's definitely not a chain. I heard them talking about how this is like one of a kind type thing. I overheard some of the wait staff talking about that.
Wish they had more comfy seats, though.
Yeah. Food was good, though. Food was good.
I don't really like sitting on the barrels. I think it's just like a cushion or something.
I heard they're all pirates.
I heard that too. I heard that they show up at port and then everything goes missing and then they leave.
Yeah,
I mean, do they even have a permit for that?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna call the POA, Port Owners Association.
Okay. What do we want to upgrade? We talked about the atmosphere, I think, with like getting more games and having it be like a game tavern.
And also getting cushions for our seats.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a game changer.
From griffin feather stuffed cushions
Mm.
from
That-
some weird adventuring party that
Yeah. They said thanks for. They just kind of left it as a package. It said thanks for helping us not fight, and then griffin stuffed cushions.
yeah, no idea what
Yeah.
that's all
Signed
about,
the Triumphant Trio.
Oh,
Dude, I can't wait till we do a one shot and we play as them. Those guys are my goats. Everyone's a goat to me.
Cool. So we upgraded that. I think, let's see. If we choose one more mini game before we wrap up, then I guess, sorry. We can do one more mini game that we choose together, or we could just wrap up. And then play the like final game. What are you guys' thoughts? We could like have a group decision mini game that we choose.
I'm down to wrap up. Like, this is like, I want to end on a high point, and I really liked this
the festival was really
the festival
cool.
was fun.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll end with the festival, and then, well, I mean, our like random mini game
Yeah.
will be this festival one, and then we will do the final game, whose name escapes me, but is really cool.
In the Rhythm of Things.
Yeah.
That's a cool name for a name.
Okay.
Okay. Let me read through it
Yippee.
really quick. Okay, so we're gonna take turns asking questions. Once we've all answered 2, then we can be done. Do you guys want to, because it doesn't specify, do you guys want to ask a specific question to a specific person? Or do we want to pose the question to everybody? If people want to chime in on it, they can. And then we'll move until we've done 2.
Until everyone
for
has
each.
answered at least 2.
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea. I hesitated, but
I was thinking the other option is if we go around the table and just like ask me 2 questions and then ask Misty 2 questions and then
Is there a preference? Because I don't particularly care.
I kind of like that one because then it can make, like, not all these questions really make sense for.
You have a thought?
yeah, the only reason I like the group one, I guess we can put it to democracy vote, is because like I don't want someone to ask you something and then everyone else feel like they can't ask the same question to someone else. And I also don't want someone to ask you something that I really want to answer as well and then not be able to answer, which is why I like the group one. But
Yeah.
in the end, I'm down for either. I just like yapping.
I like the group one also. That's good.
yeah, let's do the group one. Cool.
Okay. Cool. Do you guys want me to start and then we'll go around, or does
Sure.
somebody want to start?
And I think sorry, hold on. I know because we all like to RP and talk and stuff. I think if everyone answers the first 2 questions, I think we can just do a few more questions. That way it's not like super short if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for
And
that.
if there's any questions that like we're like, I want to answer this.
I'll ask myself.
Okay. I think I'm gonna start with kind of the easier ones, but what do you miss about adventuring, and what do you not miss about adventuring?
My character misses being around animals so much. On the boat, there just isn't much wildlife or like greenery when we're going from place to place, and he misses being in the outdoors. But he does not miss the smell of the stables.
That's fair.
I guess this is like kind of weird because we kind of still do this, but not in the same way. But I think I miss like going to different like realms and locations and seeing how different groups of people like live and how they like mourn and how they like their cultures. I feel like we get tidbits of that every time we go into a different port and we like stay there for a few days. But like when I was an adventurer, I was like really in it, right? Like when I stayed in the Fey realm, that was like a culture shock, right? And stuff like that was really, really cool, I think. As for what I don't miss, I feel like rolling the die on whether or not the tavern I was gonna stay in had like comfortable bedding or not. Like having a constant place to sleep is pretty cool. Yeah.
Sort of similar to him. Like, I like seeing new places, seeing the landscapes, and like just the art in those areas. What I don't miss about adventuring, because I did it for so long, is like just the toll it took on like the mind, body, and spirit. Just like the physical toll was pretty rough. Like I'm covered in tattoos, so I could offer support or take lead myself. And a lot of these tattoos, as I get older, aren't coming in handy as much. But I only have so much skin. So, yeah.
I think the camaraderie of fellow adventurers, kind of like sucks at times, but then like knowing that other people are also there suffering with you gives you some semblance of I don't know, something. And honestly, just the road songs, the best. Sea shanties, easy. Oh, and things that I didn't like about it. Just some of the like smaller things. Needing to like check and recheck and recheck and then recheck all of your gear over and over and over again. And then also sometimes tents are not very comfy.
Yeah.
I have a tent horror story.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, you know they make tents big enough that you can like drive a semi into it? Like massive tents, right?
Okay.
From
So-
tents.com.
Yeah. So we went to set one of these up, right?
Ooh.
And it took all day because it's massive, right? Several hours. And we're putting like sandbags around the outside of it to try and keep the edges of it down. And then like, okay, we just need to put the stakes in. And the gunny in charge of us was like, oh, I forgot the stakes. Just put more sandbags down. So we put more sandbags down. Okay. There was a storm that night.
Oh.
And so luckily we weren't sleeping in that one, but we come back to that tent the next morning and it is just this like ball of jagged metal and canvas that is like 3 stories tall because that's what it was. And it had been like turned like inside out and there were like nasty bits of metal just sticking out at all directions. And they're like, well, we got to clean it up somehow, so start cutting. And so it was our job to like go up into this thing, and I have never seen so many people so close to death. There was one point where someone cut a strap and like a scorpion's tail, this bit of metal came like rocketing over and it slowed down, I kid you not, like 2 inches away from this person's head. And they were like, oh, that was a close one. I'm like, yeah, that was a fucking close one. You almost died.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and like
That's intense.
all because someone didn't want to bring the stakes or like spend an extra hour to drive back out, bring them to us so that we could hammer them in, right? And just thousands of dollars of
tent fees.
destroyed. It was terrible. Yeah. Anyway, I spent the greater part of that day like up inside of the canvas cutting things. Because I brought my pocket knife. And I was one of the few people who did.
Should have just been like, oh, you dropped your knife to someone. Jeez. No, that's awful.
Second tent story.
Oh.
When I was in the Boy Scouts, my scout leader brought a new tent that he had never tested out before. And so we go and we derp around and we go to set it up. And we might have set it up a little bit wrong. It might have just been flawed from the beginning. But it's snowing outside, right? It's like 20-ish degrees. And the top of this tent just rips open at like midnight. Ooh. And there's like snow coming in. It's like being gusted from like the snowbank next to us. And I just rolled over. I was like,
It's a morning.
I'm dry. I'll be just fine. So I like roll over, and like 5 minutes later, the guy next to me wakes up and starts screaming. He's like, "Oh no, our stuff!" And I'm like, bruh, we can't fix this right now. Like, if you can get back to bed. And then at that point, our leaders are like, oh, we can't let them freeze to death. They're children. And so
So many rules.
I know, right? And so they're like, okay, grab your sleeping bags. We're get in the back of the truck, because one of the trucks was covered. And so we start putting our stuff back there, and like, okay, like everyone got their backpacks, and the guy who was screaming earlier, it's like, oh, I need to go get mine. And so he starts walking over to that tent. The wind hits it just right and takes the tent with his backpack in it, and it's gone. It just like flies, and it's dark outside. It's like 1 a.m. at this point, and we're like,
You're cooked.
There's your backpack. Sorry.
I'm glad you have your sleeping bag, so let's sleep it off. And so we sleep it off. The next morning we do some dumb scout activity, and then we're driving home, and we're like leaving the little park area, and there's this big long fence with barbed wire on the top of it, and our tent is flapping in the wind right there. He's like, oh, I bet my stuff's still in it. He goes out. Sure enough, his backpack was still in that tent.
How nice.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
funny
so lucky.
Yeah.
seeing things that shouldn't be in the air. Like
Yeah.
trampolines. Scary, but
oh, yeah, dude.
but you're like,
trampolines.
that trampoline's in the air. Or like, that trampoline was knocked on the fence last night.
Yeah.
It is now. Because that happened to us a few times. Trampoline ended up on the fence. Sturdy fence, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's-
now that I think about it.
That's kind of wild.
It was a wood fence. It was. Now that I think about it, that's wild that it didn't break the fence. But yeah,
Nice.
but that just picturing the tent flying is really funny to me.
Yeah.
Quality
It
wood.
sounds like it sucks, but it sounds funny to see.
Dude, I've got the movie for you. You ever seen Twister?
Yeah.
You seen Twisters?
Probably.
It came out like last year.
I did not. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a sequel now. Twisters, Storm 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I don't think that's the official title.
It's a lot of tent lore.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I've spent a lot of time in tents.
I don't know who was answered.
Missy has an answer, but I don't know if she wants to.
I'm good.
I don't know.
Oh, hello.
I just remember us talking about tents.
I think that can count as your answer.
Okay. One answer.
Gosh, I wish my mouth would work. Everyone answered.
Good. One
What-
answer.
My group question for the group is, what are you most proud of yourself for? I closed the book.
There's bookmarks.
It's 125.
If you want to move a bookmark over, so
What are you most proud of yourself for?
there's
You're right.
bookmarks. Please don't put your pen in it.
I didn't. Listeners, I didn't. Listeners, she's lying.
It's just the limited edition.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's a very pretty book. And
Go.
you almost destroyed it.
Yeah, and I do it again.
Okay, I'll go. I'm really proud of how good I got at cleaning out horses' hooves. Like, that's one of those dumb little things where I was like, I was perfect at that. And, like, being able to, like, scoop it all out and clean it and cut the nail just, like, perfectly. Like, I had it down to an art. But that's not useful outside. And so it's something that, like, I like weirdly miss, even though a lot of times I was scooping shit out of that hoof. A lot of times, like, they had stepped like into a body or something, and there was like really nasty stuff in there, and like, but I could always make it whole again. I could always make it perfect, and I think I missed that most. You have a question?
Yeah.
What?
What are you proud about now?
Oh, I thought it was.
It's Oh, I was just asking in general. Like, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was like something that we missed that we were proud about.
Well, we talked about what we missed before.
Yeah.
So I thought,
It's just what are you most proud of yourself for? So I think it
Oh,
can be
okay.
like
So it could be
either
anything.
now
Either
or like just
Okay.
in general.
Cool.
Like
Yeah. That's mine.
choose.
yeah, that counts.
I'll answer my own question while everyone thinks of their answer. Honestly, I'm really just proud of myself for going, like for being an adventurer at all. And not even just because like adventurers are cool, even though I do think that's the case. But I'm like my family was never into adventuring. Like they always like thought low of adventurers, and I didn't know when I left that I would discover so much about myself when I did. And I think I don't know, like through adventuring, I have become someone that I am very proud of, and I don't think I would be the person I am today if I had not gone adventuring. So maybe it's a cop out to say I'm proud of myself, but I am proud of myself.
So since you stole mine,
I was going to do something similar.
So, I
I mean, I think that's okay.
I mean, definitely that one.
I'm proud of this boat. Is what I meant to say. This boat's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, the boat's awesome.
It's a solid boat.
Hmm. I'm gonna one up you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Not a competition, but go on.
I'm proud of the crew that we have for the tavern, and of course the weekly game nights with offices and bosses. Forever GM, always will be.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
You're a great general manager.
Yeah, the best. Yeah, and I make a mean ube pancake.
Ooh, I do love
As
those
long
ube
as the
pancakes.
pancakes don't fucking stick to the goddamn pan.
That was an issue this morning, if you couldn't tell.
I think I'm proud of myself for knowing when to quit and not prolonging my own unhappiness, even though I felt like I could have helped with a lot of things that people needed help with. I'm proud of myself for not keeping myself on fire to keep other people warm.
Similarly to Leon, my family didn't really adventure or travel even. And I just wanted to not stay in the same place forever. And I spent my life not being in the same place forever. And I'm proud of myself for that, because it was something that I didn't want to be in the same place. So I'm proud of myself for taking that step.
I have another one. Sorry.
Oh.
Proud of working on myself, like trying to be a little bit more self-aware. Therapy works wonders. My character, of course. My character.
Yeah, we're all talking about our characters.
Julius,
For
yeah.
sure, characters. Are we ready for the next question?
With the tavern running smoothly, what do you want to spend more time doing for yourself?
More board games. Forever more board games. Always more board games. TTRPGs. All of it. And just kind of hanging out, you know?
Yeah, I think Norman has trouble relaxing, and so like learning how to just like take things slow, and like I don't have to be weeding the garden constantly. It's only that big. It fits on the ship. And so like knowing like it's okay to like take breaks and just watch the sunrise.
I think I want to find a way to, I don't even know the word, like give back, inspire. I just want to do something for the youths. When I was young, right before I started adventuring, there was a woman who took care of me and like took an interest in me, and I credit her with a lot of my development and me turning out as awesome as I am today. And so, if I could do even half that for some other kid, I think that would be amazing. Yeah.
I think I just want to figure out what is fun. Because for so long it was always just like working on the next heist. So like knowing what hobbies are is what I'm excited about.
A lot of my, like as a tattoo artist and with the modification aspect of it, a lot of the art that I make has a purpose, like a utility to it. But I want to like spend my time making art that doesn't necessarily have a purpose other than I want to make it. Like not every moment has to be useful, I guess.
Yeah.
Next one.
What is something that you can't believe that you lived without while you were adventuring? So something that you have now that you can't see yourself going back, like because of
A boat.
You're a boat guy now.
They call me Leon Boats.
That's a good one.
The crew. Ha! I took the easy one.
the power of friendship.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna recycle my old answer, like having a steady place to come home to, and like a steady place to rest my head. Like camping's cool and all, but like it's really nice to know that like my room will be as I left it, and that I have like a place to attribute with the word home now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tent won't blow
Tent
away.
won't blow away in the wind.
It didn't come up while we were playing, but my character cuts his own hair, and that is something that he would never want to go back to, is getting the like every 2 weeks military cut that adventurers had to get.
Yeah, the adventurous cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adventures. Yeah.
But this is about the game.
It's right here. Adventurers high and tight. But no, now he gets to like express himself more in like everything that he wears, but especially his hair. And so he really enjoys being able to cut his own hair and not be beholden to those adventurer standards. Like wearing a belt.
Yeah, but he should
No.
for belts. So
Wesley
pants
gets
fall
it.
down.
He always tells me to wear a belt because he was conditioned,
They change in the wash. You need to wear a belt.
brainwashed.
Yeah, you should wear a belt.
No,
I'm not
you
even-
should buy pants that fit.
But they change in the wash.
And also, your body changes over time.
Yeah,
You're gonna buy new pants that fit.
yes.
You can buy new
Yeah,
belts.
probably. That's like what most people do
Nah, I'd win.
when they change a size. They buy clothes.
Well, sorry, I don't have infinite pants money. Okay.
And there
Not
are
infinite
like,
shirt money though.
and like I can wear like a 32 to a 36 ish without them falling off my butt. Like I have to go real baggy to actually need a belt, or I'm wearing something that is like constricting my legs and very uncomfortable. So like,
You're saying belts constrict you? No.
no, I'm saying if I go smaller.
You're
Oh,
just
right,
wearing them wrong.
I was
you know?
about to say, I was like,
You're not supposed to put them around your legs.
although that probably would look sick, like fashion-wise.
yeah. Oh, I've seen
Honestly,
that.
I might,
like
yeah.
The-
on the thigh
Yeah,
kind of situation.
the Edward Scissorhands look.
Sure.
All
Yeah.
belts.
Cosimo from Blaze Blue
Oops,
wears 2
all
belts
Holy shit! I've had this belt for like
since before time began.
Eons.
Time
14
immemorial.
years
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least.
Longer than you've known us. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
That's wild.
My Deadpool seatbelt belt.
You had that in high school?
No, I think I got it when I got out, or not when I got out.
When you graduated?
Yeah, like schoolhouse era,
Yeah, you've had that for a long time.
a long fucking time, and it is the best belt. It will always be worn. God damn it.
You can always hear it when you put your belt on.
Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Sorry, this sound was underwhelming.
I don't wear belts
Yeah,
because I don't wear pants.
yeah. You don't
Yeah.
wear pants with
Listeners.
belt loops.
You wear
I'm not wearing
He-
pants.
sweatpants.
He really does not have pants, Winnie. He just always comes here without pants. It's awful.
He wears sweatpants. I need this to be.
He does wear sweatpants.
We're just really comfortable around each other.
No,
We've been
no,
friends for
never.
years.
If you guys come to my house without pants, I'm locking the
I
door.
don't
That's
care
fair.
if we've been friends
Please
for
do.
90 years. I would like everyone to wear pants. I
Yeah.
do.
I'm
I
not a
mean-
no pants friends kind of
If
person.
Yeah.
we've been friends for 90 years, the dementia's setting in, and like,
The pandemonium.
yeah,
The
Pantomonium.
Wild.
that is a good point though. The freedom to wear whatever the fuck you want is nice.
Yeah, painting my nails is pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah,
Like, I painted my nails once while I was on leave. Like, it was like I had like a week of leave, and so I was like, "Oh, I'll paint my nails for a couple of days." And I ran into my captain over that time, and I was like,
That's unlucky.
"These are pink, but hey," and he didn't say anything because he
He's
was
a goat.
yeah, he was a chill guy. Shout out to you know who, and
Redacted.
redacted
Knowers know.
Captain B.
He was a bee.
No, he was
From the guy from the B movie.
No.
No, he was
We don't
not
talk
good.
about that movie.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
Wait,
didn't know
wh-
we don't talk about it.
Why don't we talk about
Because
the
it's
B
a-
movie?
Terrible movie,
It's-
and it
If it's
none of the facts about bees are actual facts.
That's a good point.
And that
It
bothers
is
me.
very
It
wrong.
can't be that bad if it got a B.
Yeah.
next question, please.
Please.
Did everyone who wanted to answer that one?
N- I want to answer it. I just don't know.
How to answer it?
I'll be honest, I don't remember what the
Yeah.
question is.
What is something you can't believe you lived without while adventuring?
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer?
No,
Mhm.
Oh.
we got lost in pants.
I think for me it's the kind of the opposite of this question in a sense. Like, it's not that I can't believe I lived without this, it's more that I can't believe I lived with it. Like, I was so stressed all the time, and like some things don't change, like your personality doesn't really change. Like, I'm still high strung as fuck, but like the difference in the like amount of stress that I had planning heists all the time, and like having to figure out how to make everything work, and like feeling like things were like never good enough and it was always my fault, and then going to like, oh, all I do is like hang out with my friends and run a tavern, and that's like really important to me and I take it very seriously, but like no longer having that like residual stress of like having to look over my shoulder all the time is like, it's wild, I think, to look back even just like a few months and be like, damn, she was not okay. Like, and now it's like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm getting to a place of like a healthy amount of stress, enough to get things done, but not so much that I want to pull my hair out every day, you know? Especially now that the tavern's like running decently well.
Yeah, we have a 2 and 2 stats now.
Yeah. Are we ready for the next one? What do you look forward to every week? New episode from Roleplay Region.
Wing Wednesday.
I can't wait to subscribe to them on Patreon. Wing Wednesday. Our Wing Wednesday? You look
Yeah.
forward to us serving wings every Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
because it's easy. It's one of those ones where I just throw like
Wings.
3 trays into the
Mm-hmm.
oven, and then I pull them out and I put the seasoning on, or maybe before. I don't know. I don't actually do this. And then Stevie's telling me.
No, I had a friend whose dad was obsessed with perfecting his wing recipe.
Oh yeah.
Like once a week, it probably was
Every
like once
Wednesday?
a week.
Yeah.
He would be like trying something different with it. They had a deep fryer, so they were like the deep fried kind of wings.
Ooh. Okay.
And so he was just like, I made wings. He would say it like that too. He's just like, I made wings. You should try them. It's just like, okay. Like, I'm not gonna say no to wings and fries, because he had
Yeah.
one of those like potato, like our can crusher, but for potatoes to
Oh,
make
would auto
fries.
slice them?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Those are so cool.
I should get one of those.
So,
Dude, we should get one of those.
Dude, we should have
Guys,
fry
we should all
Fridays.
get one of those.
oh my god, you have an air fryer now, so you can do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Air Fridays.
That's good.
Dude.
I'm so
Wing
pumped.
Wednesday.
Should we
Air
open
Fridays.
up a tavern?
Dude.
Yeah.
I do dream of the day when we are bajillionaires and we can have like a truly like fantasy tavern in, I don't know, the outskirts of a city or something.
Yeah, outside of Maine,
Yeah, where you like go in and
Why
it's
Maine?
all
they have good lobster.
I can't eat
Lobster are just sea bugs.
probably.
Okay, so
Yeah, lobster are the bugs of the sea. Them and shrimp.
you were literally eating gummy bears earlier.
What does that have to do with
You
anything?
eat bones, but you won't eat sea bug.
Yeah, I'll eat bones. Bone broth fucks.
I'm sure bug broth also fucks.
Yeah, it
Hakuna
probably
Matata.
does. Actually, probably. But I can't drink that.
I'm trying to think of what I'm looking forward to every week.
I'm
Can you
allergic
stop?
to sea bugs.
You're not? Oh yeah, you are.
You're not allergic to what?
What? I think
I don't know if the people know that.
we typically know that I'm allergic. To what? You said I'm allergic to bugs?
No.
We're all allergic to bugs.
Yeah. You ever been bit by a mosquito?
No. I think I look forward to when we dock. And I think we dock about once a week. A little less, a little longer, depending on the ports.
Yeah.
USB, USB-C.
Mhm.
But that's always cool. Like I like we haven't been everywhere yet, so I always look forward to when it's a new place. I'm like, ooh, a new place. And when it's an old place, I go, ooh, my friends. And so, yeah, I like touching land.
I think I have the opposite, or Julius, me, has the opposite.
You love leaving port.
Yeah, leaving port and then going out onto sea, and then like up in the crow's nest, just looking out on the endless waters, realizing how insignificant you are in the grand scheme of things,
That we're just a drop in this big ocean.
and that at any time we could get lost at sea and no one would care.
Mm-hmm.
Tornado could throw us around in the wind
But the
like
view-
a trampoline.
The view's kind of nice though.
The trampoline.
I'm just a trampoline in a tornado.
Do you sometimes feel like a paper bag in the wind? Plastic bag?
Drifting
well,
through the wind.
we're in
Yeah.
Maryland,
To start
so
again.
it's paper.
It's paper now. Yeah.
By law.
Hey, plastic bag ban was a great move. There's so much less trash on our street. It's great.
It is really nice.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, me neither.
Do you know where I grew up? You would just burn your trash. Like,
I
no
remember
joke.
Yeah.
doing that, yeah.
And they'd have burn bans when the weather was like dry,
Mhm.
but it wasn't dry that much. But they'd be like, "It's a burn ban." I don't know who declared it was a burn ban.
The government
Fucking
trying to
Smokey
catch
the
a
Bear,
hold.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, "Oh, we can't burn. It's a burn ban this week." I'm like, okay, like it'll be good on Wednesday though. It's supposed to rain. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we just burn our trash
Yeah,
That's
because we
wild.
didn't have recycling.
same.
Mm-hmm.
I think I look forward to port stops too, but for like the new ingredients.
The local delicacies.
Yeah,
The local
try new stuff.
salamander spit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
delicious.
Yummy.
Gross.
Similarly, I look forward to finding new inks.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've definitely answered our 2-question minimum.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the game.
Yippee.
We did.
Ending a game always feels like weird. It's just like
Yeah.
we're playing and now we're not.
Yeah.
We're gonna play something else now.
Yeah.
Dude, this game's so sick.
I really do like this game.
Mm-hmm.
I recently, when I say recently because my friends have only started accepting my invitations to hang out recently. My friends being the people at this table.
That's not true.
But I've also
you just
recently
started inviting us.
Well, not recently, but I've been slowly getting more and more into cooking. And like, I remember thinking like a few months ago, like, man, like, I really wish there was a game where I could just both, because I think eating is really cool. Like, I think a group of people sitting together and eating is like closeness. And I also like TTRPGs, and I feel like this is a good one where you could literally do that. Like, the mini games aren't super like, you don't need a lot to play them,
Mhm.
and so you can just sit around eating food with your friends and also play this game. And that feels really cozy to me, which I know is like the goal. So I guess they nailed it. But like, I like this game a lot. All that to say.
Yeah, me too. I love how rules light it is, because like this is one that I feel like I could pick up with like my family members who don't play TTRPGs, and they would understand what's happening 95% of the time, right? And most of the games we play have at least some mechanics that like I feel like I'd have to explain or like dumb down to talk to someone brand new. But this game, I think, just right off the shelf, you could play with anyone.
Just about anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
However,
Okay.
it is incredibly roleplay heavy, and I know that that's
It
a big
is.
hurdle for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's fair. Most of the people I hang out with are theater kids.
I do like too, though, that like you can lean more if you're if you're a table that role plays not as heavily as you would want, and you kind of want to transition into role playing more. You could just try your best to focus more on the mini games that have the mechanics, like that have like the festival. They were all like coin flips, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the festival, like that, I actually think that's a really good example, because you can roleplay the festival as much or as little as you want, and then because each event is just a coin flip. So when you're done roleplaying, you just flip the coin and then go from there. And so, while I do agree, I think this can be a good transitional tool into practicing the roleplay more, because like it's not like other games where it's like you have to roleplay this scenario and you have to roleplay it out to completion. It's like a writing prompt, and so you can make that roleplay scenario usually as long or as short as you want, which I think makes it a lot less. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, not ominous, but like
Intimidating?
intimidating, daunting, yeah. Intimidating.
It sounds like such a stupid word. Like someone fucked up the word. It's real intimidating.
Yeah, I really like how chill it is. To pick up. I do think that like if people are uncomfortable with role playing, that could be a hurdle. But if they're willing to try, I think this is a very good start.
Mhm.
Another thing that I really like about it is that it can totally be a super easy casual game. There's only a few games where mini games that are like, that require everybody to play. So this would be really good for a table where maybe you're not able to meet up as an entire group as frequently as you'd like, but you still want to play. You can totally have the tavern running in the background, and then you play mini games that like not everybody has to be there for. And I think too, you can replay some of the mini games. Like, I don't feel like they were so specific that you couldn't just replay it and try something new, even with the exact same characters and tavern setup, which I think is kind of cool. I'm sure after playing it maybe a couple of times, the same mini game, it might get a little tedious, but like that NPC one that we did, like, could easily redo that and have it still be fun because we rolled something different and the card said something different, you know. Or like the monster,
the sliced.
Yeah, the like weird exotic food dish thing. We could take turns playing that and having each person be a chef for it or whatever. Like, so and so's sick today, you're in charge, here are the ingredients type of vibe, right? Like I really like that. Because I don't always feel like some of these smaller games have the same like replayability. Some do, obviously, but there are some where it's like, yeah, if you've played it once, like, it was fun, but you probably got to wait a minute before you play again. And I don't really feel that way about this one.
No, I'd be down to play tomorrow. Like,
yeah. I was talking to Damien about this off mic, but something that I think would be really, really cool is using this as a way to give closure to your games that are like longer campaigns. Because you could very easily reskin, like we brought up like Star Wars, for example. If we were going to play this game after Star Wars, like, you could very easily create your own adventurer job and town job equivalents for that universe, and then just follow the prompts as they're written for like the mini games and stuff. And I think that would be a really cool way to like let go of your characters in a way, because I think it's really hard to end a campaign no matter how long it is, especially if you do want to like kind of reminisce about it and like you're not really ready to stop playing them. This would be a really cool way to like get them to like a happy point and like they're living their best now. Like, we're gonna let them do that and move on to the next game, the next character.
That is sick. I didn't even think of that, but I do really like that.
Yeah, it could be a really good like cozy way to return to those characters without we're back into adventuring, guys. Yeah,
I think it would.
I really like that.
I like it too because I think it would give. Not that like it didn't have weight when we did it, but it would give it an extra special weight when you have quests like, oh, time to dust off the old whatever, right? Like, you would remember getting it.
Or having like that whole list of NPCs that you can pull from rather than having to like bring them out. Having Jeffrey Jefferson judge our cooking.
I would say that would be sick. Oh man, we should do that at some point for one of our off-mic campaigns.
Yeah, I think it would be really fun. And I think it'd be really easy to incorporate. And I don't think, again, going back to like the replayability, I don't think that people would get sick of that.
No.
Because you have enough time typically, even for us doing a podcast where we play RPGs, like, we have plenty of time in between the start of each campaign and the end of one, that like if we were to incorporate this after every single one, I don't think we would get sick of it. I think we would like probably pog out and be happy that we're getting to talk about some of the stuff that we thought was cool in like a role play format, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to like I liked so much about it. I'm trying to think of like better specifics so that I'm just not just like, oh, it's so great.
Everything's good.
Oh, you want some cons? I got you.
I don't think I'm ready for cons yet.
Oh, okay.
One of the things I really liked, as far as like accessibility goes, first of all, as far as I can tell, I am not an expert in it, but as far as I can tell, it is screen readable for the PDFs, so that's really great. And for me, as somebody who has ADHD, one of the huge pluses is that I could read this all the way through and feel like I had a decent grasp of what was going on. And also I could easily look things up in the book if I forgot, because it wasn't like 4 billion pages long. Oh, you guys have noses on that in particular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's in the vein of like you being able to read it. I read rule books, and I don't fucking understand them, but I understood this.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was simple enough. Like, I don't know. I just don't read and then understand things. That's not how my brain works. But like I was able to do that with this, and it's not like it's really dumbed down or anything. It just makes sense, and it doesn't have anything in it that isn't really needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The PDF was very good. I did like that the table of contents would take me to the places that I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
It was not completely cross hyperlinked though, because there were a couple times where I was trying to get from like one page in the middle of the book to another page in the middle of the book, and it's like on page 62 or whatever, and I would go to click on it and that one wouldn't work. The table of contents one would,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones deeper in the book weren't all hyperlinked correctly or maybe at all.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that is something to note for sure.
that is a small downside.
Yeah.
About the book though, that I like as well is that like all the information is in that section. Like I feel like
Yeah.
with a lot of other rule books, it's like they brings up a topic and then it's like, but you'll read more about this 200 pages from now, and that's dumb. Like, and maybe it's like one could argue that it's like easier to do because it's mini games, but like I felt like it's like that with the whole book, like with the adventure roles and then the town roles and then the bits about like making a character, and like every section is just complete in that section, and I really like that. I like not having to be like I
Yeah.
read about some like half of a subject here and then the other half is like somewhere else. It's like all well put together, and I really like that.
Yeah, that is one thing I hate about books is that they're like, all right, this is character creation. Start on page 46 and then come back here when you're done with that
Mm-hmm.
so you can know where to go after that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like a choose your own adventure book, but
Yeah.
not in a fun way.
Yeah, like how hard is it to this just proved to me that you can just be normal
Yeah.
and like just be like, okay, so after this, after like you have the list of classes, you can be like, after this, you're gonna go here. And you could also have that in its own place and then have like the instructions in that section
Mm-hmm.
in a way that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled it up so I can be more specific.
Okay.
So the table of contents links correctly, but then when you get to mini games, there's like the name of the mini game, the little symbols.
Uh-huh.
I tried to click these probably 3 or 4 times because I expected it to be hyperlinked,
Mhm.
but it was not.
Okay. None of them are though.
None of them
Okay.
are.
So it
Yeah,
would be helpful if they were.
if they were, because it says like go to page 90, go to page 102.
Yeah.
And that is like what I was expecting, because I think it's the same color as the table of contents too. I feel like that's no, the green color is just for mini games, but yeah, it was
It would-
something I was
yeah.
expecting.
And that
And-
definitely would be helpful.
Yeah.
Just like a quality of life type thing.
Because I am a PDF enjoyer when it comes to RPGs. I like being able to jump around quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the other things I really liked about like how the setup of the book is for the mini games, and I understand that this is pretty specific to this style of game, and I think this is the first game that we've played that has been like mini games within a game. But I liked that they had this little key at the beginning of the mini games that tells you what each game is going to get into.
Yeah.
That was
totally
really
agree.
helpful for me because I was able to look at it and be like, oh, it's a pumpkin. That means role playing. Perfect. Like, and I, for whatever reason, my brain loved that. Like,
Yeah, because like when it's just blocks of texts, like
You have to look for it.
yeah, you got to like read a whole paragraph. But when it's the symbols, I really liked the
Yeah,
symbols
it made it so
too.
easy. Because when I picked my game, I was like, I want one with a mechanic in it, and it was literally at a glance I could tell which one had like gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
mhm.
And like the coffee bean, like oh, we're at the
Ramping
start
up.
of the game, we want to play a coffee bean one. Like
Mhm.
that makes so much sense,
Mhm.
and I agree. I wish more games would do stuff like that with like labeling like maybe your monsters instead of your mini games, or
Yeah,
if you're doing a module, like
it's
have
like
something like that. Yeah,
it's like a tag system, but it's like really good.
yeah,
Mhm. It's like
it's very
better
well done.
because there's not words.
Mhm.
Yes,
I think is like, and obviously, like at a certain point, you're gonna run out of symbols.
yeah,
But-
but they get around that with a little paragraph down below, and so like I feel like they have found the sweet spot
Mhm.
because food sweet.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like they found the sweet spot between using those symbols correctly and still giving you a description.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. One final thing, unless people have other things that they want to bring up. But accessibility wise, this is another thing that I really loved. The fact that the materials that you need for this game are the book, a deck of cards. I happen to have the Stewpot ones because I backed it. It's not like you can use any card. 6-sided dice, which like even if you just have 2 because you have like some random board game that has 2d6s in it, you can re-roll stuff, and there's apps that have dice rolling and things like that. And then the coin, so there's no like, and again, you can get a coin flipping app or you can take whatever coin. I really appreciate that this truly is a game that like anybody could pick up at their local game store and then hop right into, because it even mentions like the character sheets you can substitute blank paper for, because and you can, the character sheets are so simple that you don't have to print them out. Like you really could just have paper and pencil and write it. And I think that makes it really, really accessible, unlike a lot of other games where it's like you have to have specialty dice or you have to understand this really complex looking character sheet or whatever. So I did want to praise it for its simplicity too.
Yeah, but knows.
Yeah. I grew up in a household that did not have decks of cards just laying around because gambling was evil. And so, yep. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So I disagree slightly with the deck of cards, but what I do agree with you on is I can walk through my game store and get all of these things. And especially because on the back of the book, it does say, gather some dice, get a deck of cards, and a shiny coin, and you're ready. Like, the back of the book tells you that. And while I wish it was kind of like bolted or bigger or something like that, because you need this to play. like I love that it's right there. Because yeah, if I'm picking this up and I don't have a deck of cards at home, or like maybe I just moved and I don't know where my D6s are, I know that I need to go pick those up on my way out.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild to me that you didn't have decks of cards.
Yeah, no,
I grew up
had
like playing poker.
we
so
had Uno, we
opposite.
had Pit, which is like about capitalism, but we did not have like playing cards.
That is
growing
a
up.
good point though. You could substitute Uno cards.
Yeah, it'd be a little weird.
It would be a little weird, but
because you don't have the royalty suites and
Yeah,
but
Uno.
you do
Skip,
have skip, reverse wild card,
+2.
Draw 2, yeah.
draw two. So you could just
okay.
name those.
The
And like
faces.
that's
Okay.
not ideal. That is not
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah,
But like you could.
if you had to,
Yeah,
yeah.
same though. I didn't have playing cards growing up either. For no reason, like none of us ever just wanted any.
Yeah.
But
We had poker chips too in a case that had a "Don't mess with Texas" sticker on it, and I don't know why it had that sticker.
I don't either. You're not from Texas.
We're not from Texas.
anyone
I
from
think
your
my
family?
uncle lived in Texas,
Okay.
but I don't know why he brought a sticker, and I don't know why it got put on the case that held poker chips. Because I don't know if he played
Ah,
poker.
Texas Hold'em.
Oh,
That's why.
you know what? Yeah.
I got it. Boom.
The art, I think, is really, really good in this.
Yeah.
Yes, very well done.
Very nice to look at.
It's very
Um,
consistent throughout too, even though there's a ton of artists that worked on it, which I think is also really cool that they got so many artists.
Yeah. And just to hit again the fact that you can play this in absolutely any setting whatsoever. The book itself even called out social media posts as something in it, which I thought was
Ooh.
wild.
it is wild. That's cool though.
But
Yeah, I think it was when we did the festival and it was talking about like the
Oh, yeah.
ratings that we were getting and stuff. Like, can
Mm.
talk about social media posts that you
Yeah.
received. So, yeah, I agree.
Con, this game makes you sad.
I think we
Yes.
make us sad.
No,
No, I just looked at the
disagree.
funeral page, the art, because I was like, ooh, art. And then I was like, no.
Yeah,
I
I
w-
did purposefully avoid the funeral one. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody had picked it,
Mhm.
I would have played. But I was like, I don't know if I can handle a funeral
Look at this art.
today.
Yeah, so I am going to put this in the con category. I'm taking us there. I do think that endings of stories and retirement and like being away from your old like self all lend themselves to be sadder, deeper topics.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do think that if you are looking for a happy fun time playing RPGs, this might not be the one that you want to go to. Cuz while you can be like a happily retired person, there is still that like baggage,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I do think that the game it has a niche and it does it very well,
Yeah.
is how I'm going to put that, because like I wouldn't want to try and play this in place of Cottages and Cerberus, because Cottages and Cerberus you are like still adventuring and you're cozy and it's supposed to be fun, where this one feels a lot more introspective and deep, and I like that about it. But it is a very different vibe.
I will say, you guys are also looking at it through the lens of the military.
We are.
So,
Yeah.
like, not necessarily like the whole part, but there are things that are going to be more relatable. There were questions that like you guys were all answering, and it was like,
Yeah, we were not always answering in character.
Yeah,
But-
that's fair.
but where I personally was like, I can't really relate. Like, I can't relate, and
Yeah.
so it just felt less. Yeah. But I'm not saying that you can't be sad if you don't have like a past in the military.
Yeah.
You could still be sad, but I think it's just, and because there's that like connection, it's cuts a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For this group in particular.
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause
But
I-
yeah, it still make you big sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got big sad anyway.
Yeah, because I think
I just looked at a drawing and got sad like 2 minutes ago.
I think at the core of it, like we all view ourselves as adventurers, and that ending just feels sad, right? And like going into retirement feels kind of sad.
Yeah, it is overall
Yeah.
like sad undertones.
Yeah.
But you can make it more like happy
Yeah.
if you want to just be in denial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you don't even have to be in denial. I think there's just, again, like a vibe check, a good session 0, and being like, hey,
Yes.
I want to play this game. It can get kind of sad, but like the campaign we just finished was really, really happy and campy. Would it be okay if we played this game? We'll just avoid doing the funeral, for example, or like any of the ones that have like specifically sad undertones.
Mhm.
And then you could very easily be like, what are you struggling with? And you're like, oh, you know what? I'm struggling with my back going out because I'm old, and then turn it into like a meme type thing. But you would definitely have to have that tone check at the beginning of the game, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then just make sure that certain games are like X carded essentially, where it's like, hey, we're not going to deal with the funeral.
Mhm.
We're not going to deal with people's wives being dead or whatever, right? Like we're just going to talk about the funny moments in our campaign and like kind of bring this into retirement. But I do agree that like from the lens I view it in, it does lend itself to in my opinion, to like be a little sad but hopeful, versus a different game where it's happy and hopeful or cheerful and exciting or whatever. You have a nose.
I actually have 2 now.
Okay.
But the first one's a lot shorter, so I'll start with this. They both kind of tie with the theme of I disagree, but maybe I'm just naive. One, and this is personal to us, like I don't think anyone's sad to have gone out of the military here. So it's like, I think the same thing can be true with adventuring, which comes to my second point. Especially if you're doing it at the end of the campaign, you can just be a campaign of adventurers who did everything they wanted to do adventuring. Like you can have like someone whose goal was to save up enough riches to start a tavern, or you can have someone who wanted to be like a world-renowned wizard, and he was the dean at the Mages College for a while, and now he really wants to get into being the dean of cooking. And like I just think like, because you mentioned baggage, like we make the baggage, right? And so it's like you can just choose to be like, I just feel like it's very easy when it comes to fantasy adventure, because we like tragedy and we like tragic stories, to make it tragic, right? And to make characters with like really like rough scars and baggage. But I think it would be just as easy to not do that. I think people just tend to not do that because people tend to find happier stories boring. But again, I just think that's on the players. And I think one, doing it at the end of campaign, or like you said, like a tone check at the start of playing this, would really lend itself. Because I think if we started with, instead of us starting with like, we were in the military, let's kind of lean on that. If we started with, we want to play people who had very fun decade adventuring and then decided to retire and start a tavern together as friends, it would have been wildly different, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
We're arguing.
Well, I just think that you have to try to make it just a fully happy-go-lucky experience. The game itself is designed in such a way that you are, giving up on that past life and moving on to something else, which for the large majority of humanity is kind of sad.
Melancholy, you might say.
Melancholy.
Yeah.
Gotta watch Megamind again.
Terms or sentences such as, when an experience is crossed out, it doesn't disappear. It served you well at one point. It might be hard to see yourself as someone that doesn't do that anymore, but you don't need it here. You can put it away for now, is an emotional statement.
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessarily sad. Like someone who did 20 years in the military doesn't need those skills anymore. That doesn't mean he has to like you don't have to be tragic about it. It's just you realizing like, I am not in the military anymore. I think how you feel about that is up to you. And so while you're right, I think you have to try to make it like, if you want to avoid sad tones, you have to try to avoid sad tones. But I think that's every game all the time. Not every game all the time, but I think that's the point of a session 0 is like I want to avoid sad tones, and again, it's just like a transitionary thing. Like because I get sad when I think that I got out of the military. I think I get sadder than most of the other people I know. I think I know other people that are that like I know other people that if they could go back in time, they would have never joined, right? And so when they think of their transition, they are exclusively happy, right? And I don't mean like, yeah, I was kind of like I kind of miss like people that are exclusively happy about it, right? And so it's like if you're an adventurer out of necessity, and now you finally saved enough that you don't have to be an adventurer, I think then it would be hard to be sad about it, right? So I do think it's just up to interpretation.
Yeah, but then like reflecting on the time, there's a reason you're so happy to be out of it, you know? Like, and a lot of part of this is like reflecting on your time as adventuring, as an adventurer, which means reflecting on a time when you were extremely unhappy, clearly.
Yeah, or it was just a means to an end.
I think the overall tone of this is a bit bittersweet. Like, it's like, at a glance, it looks really cute and happy, and it can be really cute and happy, but I think it is bittersweet. It's just,
Yeah, I would probably refrain from calling it a cozy game now that we've played.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's going to be
Looks
a
cozy.
cozy game. But like the subject in and of itself, I think doesn't lend itself to be cozy. And if we're being honest, the game doesn't even call itself cozy. I think we just
it doesn't.
gave it that because it looks
saw
cute.
it.
And I
Yeah.
was like, Stew, that's cozy.
I love Stew.
So
Yeah, I think if I had to like elevator pitch this, I would say like it's a game about retiring adventurers and like following that story at the end of adventuring versus calling it cozy.
yeah,
Because-
and I think that's how they market it.
Yeah.
I don't think I marketed it properly.
Yeah, and I agree with looking at the front of it, like there's food and everyone's warm in the tavern. It looks kind of cozy, so I totally get where you got that. But yeah.
One of the other cons that I would like to mention is your nose about what we've been talking about.
Possibly.
If it is, then you should
Oh,
go.
no, it's a separate con. I just don't know what you're about to say.
Oh.
But it's not
Okay.
about.
But it's not about
The
that.
cozy vibe.
one
I
of
know.
one of the other cons that I would say with this game is there were a couple of times where and you guys heard it on mic where it was like, I'm not quite exactly sure what this means because it's so like left up to interpretation. And that is only a con if you are type A like me and need direction. Some people will look at that and be like, hell yeah, I can do whatever I want. And they'll just pick the thing that they think it says and roll with it. That's awesome. But
Good for you.
for me, I like to have I would love just like a little tiny bit more direction in a game. Like if I were to knock this for anything, that's what it would be for me. And I definitely understand that that's like a personal thing. But if my grading system were at 100, that would knock it down to like a 98. It's still fantastic, but I personally would like a little extra do this.
Was that your
that
nose?
was my nose. That was my exact nose. Yeah. Yeah. I think if you are going to play this, probably do it in shorter bursts.
I was gonna say the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, because like you play.
I mean, I guess it's vibes of the table.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
because like we're bringing our baggage to the
Yeah.
table
Yes.
and then like throwing
Airing
it
it.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing that,
Because
definitely make sure that you have your session 0 and that you take your healthy breaks.
Yes.
And all that.
They help.
Yeah, because I feel emotionally drained right now. We did 2 sessions today, listeners, just so you know. But that's normal for us. And like that feels draining doing this for what, like 5-6 hours. Where I feel like some of our games we could play for 8 hours and keep kicking, right? Not most of them. I feel like most of our games we put enough of ourselves into it that it does end up being tiring, but this one more so than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. You disagree?
I think I'm just a freak, bro.
I
could have
think
done this
I
all
could
day.
play. I'm not gonna lie. I could play this for a long time, but that's because I love yapping and talking about feelings.
I mean, it is therapeutic.
I also think,
Yeah.
and maybe
More
this,
so than
maybe
most.
I'm making this up, but like it feels like for me like a game you like not necessarily spend the day playing, but that you make an event out of, because every third game or after every 3 games
After every 3.
you play that one,
Wear and tear.
and it's like, and then when you end you have the closing game. So I feel like you open with this mini game festival and then close with this. That formula to me just makes it sound like you're supposed to go. And obviously that's not true. Like, we split it up here for the sake of the podcast, but I think if I was gonna play this with my friends IRL, that's the format I would want. Like, I wouldn't want to like open it and then close it a different day. Me personally, I would like to open it, play. Maybe every like that one mini game that I forget the name of,
Wear and tear.
wear and tear, take a break there, and then come back and then wear and tear and take a break.
That's
and then,
fair, but it's something that I would like want to know ahead of time.
Yeah,
I can,
absolutely.
Like, mentally prepare for.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I can definitely see that. I personally think it has the potential for longevity. Not like a very,
Tavern
very,
campaign.
very long campaign, but
I could see
3 or
like
4,
3 or 4 sessions.
especially if you're like getting into like the tavern
Mm.
building aspect and like really like getting excited about designing it together and things like that.
Actually playing through
That's fair. I
offices
forgot.
and bosses.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing that we actually like. We get more points. The tavern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't really mess too much with the keepsakes, but
I
that
think
could've
that's
been-
because us as a friend group didn't think about that while we were doing stuff.
Yeah, I
really.
gave him a tattoo.
Yeah, but
that-
like on all of our mini games, like we weren't like on the lookout
Yeah, that's
for giving
Yeah.
each other keepsakes. So I think
That
I
kid
think
got
that's
one.
really more on
Cupcakes.
us.
That kid got a
Yeah.
hat.
I gave
I
you
can't-
cupcake.
I
You give
can't-
me cupcake.
I can't keep that though.
We
I can
could. It'd
keep
just
the
be
memory.
really weird.
True.
But
Put it in the fridge.
so I think with that one, when we were at the market, like that was probably like Stevie was definitely the most thoughtful about that. But like we totally could have done that during the festival, and I did not think
Yeah, I totally
at
forgot
all
too.
about doing it. So,
Yeah.
And I think this kind of leads into my suggestion for this game. If you, dear listener, are planning on playing it, I personally would absolutely do this with a table you're close with. It gets pretty touchy-feely, and that's not always fun or comfortable to do with people you don't know that well.
Mm-hmm.
But 2, I would do it with characters that you're very familiar with as well, and that are familiar with each other. I think one of the things that we struggled with is the fact that we didn't know each other as a party
Yeah.
doing this thing. And I think, for example, the keepsakes would have been a lot easier to go about if we all knew each other's characters really well and we had like a backstory woven together as like an adventuring party that retired. And that's what the book suggests. So like that's not on the book. That's on us being like, we're gonna do it this way because it sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it that way.
So-
It was still fun.
Does the book recommend doing this after another campaign?
Not necessarily. Let me
Okay.
double check because I don't want to be lying, but I think it's more just like you're an adventuring party that is retiring, and we
All
instead
together.
were
Mhm.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
we instead were like, we are forming a new not adventuring party. Yeah, it says your party has been adventuring for many years now. It's a tough job, and it only gets tougher as time goes on. it's quite common for former adventurers to keep busy by running taverns where they offer shelter, food, and advice to the younger generation. That's what you've decided to do together. And I think that element of it, like, we still had fun, and I think we still were able to do some like cool storytelling, but that element in particular I think is important, at least the first time that you play, so that like everybody is intertwined and they understand each other's characters, and then you can easily think up keepsakes of like, oh, so and so lost their cufflinks on that one adventure, these ones kind of look like those, I'll buy them for him, or whatever. Because you'll already have that information.
Imagine wearing cufflinks while adventuring.
Okay.
It's wild.
It was the first thing that came to my brain.
Phantom thieves.
I don't necessarily know that it has to be the adventuring party that you've already played an entire campaign with. I think that would be sick, and you should totally try it and let me know how it goes. But I do think that you should have that like intertwined in some way.
In addition to that, I also think that if you are playing this game, you should probably have a town, because a lot of the prompts and stuff in there had a lot of like, you're supposed to be seeing familiar faces, or like, for instance, the market day thing. It's supposed to be like, you know, these market people, and when you go up to them, they're like, hey, I remember you telling me this one story, and then have like a question associated to that, or like, oh, hey, you know, the stuff that I've been dealing with, could you help me with it again, or something like that. And I think for most of the mini games, I saw at least like one prompt in there that was something of that level.
Yeah, I agree.
We kind of shot ourselves in the foot.
But I mean, we had a fucking boat
It was
tavern.
pretty
It was
sweet.
sick.
It was
Yeah,
sick. It
Tides
was
and Table
cool.
was sick.
But-
Sick boat. Sick restaurant.
I think it also kind of, our choices in this game, I think, lends itself to our headspace with how we were playing this game and how we based it around our actual lives a lot.
We live on a boat, IRL.
Well, in that, like, we're not done adventuring, right? Like, we've just chosen different adventures, and I think that's kind of why our boat sounded really cool, is that we were like, oh, sick, like, we'll go from port to port, and we'll do this other fun, cool thing, which is what we're doing with this podcast, right? Like, we haven't stopped adventuring ourselves, and so
Art imitates life.
yeah. But like,
Life
if you're gonna play this game, play it with adventurers that are ready to actually retire and settle down in a specific location, because I do think that would be helpful. You can totally do what we did.
We still had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
And you can very easily transform some of the prompts into, okay, like, we're a boat food truck, so we don't know this town, but we did hear that they were having a festival and we're going to be there and support. You can do that, but like, if you want to be true to text, you want to be in one place, I think.
Did you have one thing?
I was just gonna get into like kind of my what to steal.
Yeah, that's what I was leading to.
I think the prompts in this book are sick, just kind of universally.
Yeah.
Like, if you're, and I mean, I think a lot of people have been in this situation, even if you're not at an RP heavy table, where there's like some opportunity for conversation, or you know, you're traveling, or you're at a campfire and your DM goes, you guys yapping? And everyone's like, sure, hey, nice crit earlier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to start. I think like there are like a lot of prompts in here that you can just take and put them up on, like, on a wall or something, so like people have like good like questions you can ask that will actually start a conversation. You know what I mean? Because I feel like in character that's hard sometimes. But because it's centered around adventurers, all the questions, like, not all of them, but a lot of them are adventurer related questions that you can, like, sure, we're retired, but you can ask them to current adventurers still. Like, you can walk up to anyone and say, what's your least favorite part of adventuring? And they'd have an answer, right? So I really like the roleplay prompts in this book.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Steal those.
Yeah, definitely steal those. And I mean, like Misty said, run this at the end of your campaign, and I think that would be really dope.
Yeah, I really want to try that one day with us, but our campaign never ends, so we'll see. Well, I guess the ones on the podcast do.
Kingmaker will
Brave
live
will
forever.
never end. Yeah.
One other thing that I thought was cool about this game was the coin flip mechanic. And I think integrating that into any game would be really easy to be able to be like, hey, we're going to make quick decisions. Here's like the quick role play thing. Flip this coin. Heads you win, tails you lose. And like kind of just a way to like try a different thing in your game. And it would be really easy to incorporate. You could pretty much do that anywhere. And it gives, especially if maybe you have a table that has a hard time focusing, the change in a game mechanic can really do a lot for like bringing focus back in. And that particular game mechanic of just flipping a coin is one, easy to learn, and two, very, very low effort. So you totally could throw that into pretty much anything. And I think that's a cool thing to be able to steal.
Really quick, I forgot this was a pro. Thank you for bringing it up. It made my brain really happy to know that if I was rolling a die, it was probably a success range, and that if I was flipping a coin, it was pass fail. That pleased me a lot. And so having like different things for different things made my brain really happy.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I think if you're gonna do a pass fail thing, just use a coin, man.
Yeah.
Just don't make your players roll for it. Just use a coin.
Don't gaslight me into thinking there's 20 different options here
Yeah.
when it's pass fail.
Yeah. And now that I've used that as a mechanic, I feel very passionate about saying that. Because I've always thought that would make sense in my brain, but like I've never actually played a game with that mechanic before. Now I have, and I think it's much better if you're doing pass fail.
Thing I would steal is giving your characters closure, just like in
Yeah.
general. I think last time we played D&D, we never got to anything. Honestly, we got stuck as we were playing. The table kind of fell apart. It was COVID. It wasn't their fault. But I kind of want to go back and like play this game with that adventurer, just to like give myself that closure. And like maybe if you have a campaign that fell apart for whatever reason, you could do this, just you and one other person, or maybe play it as a solo game. It would be a little bit hard to do.
You'd
as
have
a
to do some
solo.
tweaking, yeah. But I was thinking the same thing. I totally would do that for some of my old characters. Play it solo.
Yeah.
I will say though, we haven't played this game yet, so like full disclosure, but there is a game that I saw where it's about how your dead character deals with the afterlife.
Oh yeah, that one was
So
sick.
if you want closure for your character and they didn't die, this is the game.
Yes.
We will let you know eventually if the other game is a good
Is that one
version
solo?
Yeah.
for
Just
no,
stay
it's not.
tuned.
But like if that is a game that we enjoy playing, I feel like it makes sense to have the two different types potentially. So
Because only 12% of adventurers make it to retirement. It's really sad.
that's a wild statistic.
Yeah,
that, you
that was
pulled out of
way
your ass.
low.
Sponsor an adventure near you. In the eyes of
An angel. Yeah. Oh man, I was thinking the same thing.
Wild, absolutely wild.
We're on the same wavelength today.
We are.
I like this.
Yeah. Anyway, this was fun. I
Yeah.
like this game.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Good game.
I
Good
would
game.
enjoy playing it again.
GG.
Would cook stew again.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, there are recipes in the back of this book. I will make them for you guys.
Dude.
So can I have
next
one?
week.
Dibs on one.
No.
Dibs on one. You can have all the other ones. Can I just...
No.
Dude, you're so selfish.
Are you
She's
making
like-
them all next week?
No.
No,
Oh,
she's
okay.
not.
I'm
and
gonna
she's-
make.
She's just stopping
She's
Wesley
just
from
toxic.
being happy.
Yeah.
I want to make the gruel recipe in there,
Okay, so I won't make that one.
and then there's like a cookie type recipe that I want to make gluten free.
Let me know,
and
give me a
then-
copy.
We'll like let you know on social media how those recipes were. That's not part of the podcast. I just think it's fun.
Okay.
So
This is awesome.
And I like eating food, so
yeah, I wanted to do it today, but if I'm being honest, I forgot. And then
Oh,
we got
that's
here, and I was like, no, I was going to cook for my friends. So
Also, sorry for all the sad parts.
nah.
I'm not.
I'm
that
not.
shit was
You're
sick.
welcome for all the
Yeah.
sad
It,
parts.
it
Right.
feels obligatory. If I'm being honest, there's no meaning behind those words that I said.
Goodness gracious.
you
Sorry
smell.
if-
You still.
We made you sad. Get wrecked.
You know what makes me sad? The way you smell.
Oh,
Got
deuces.
him.
got him.
Got 'em.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Patreon, Discord.
Yeah, check us out.
Yeah.
We're still really
OnlyFans.
good at promoting ourselves.
I'm going away.